And we are live. What's good, everybody? Welcome to a Saturday nights live. I really want to know podcast. What's good, y'all? How y'all feeling? What's happening? What's happening? I am still injured, guys. Still injured. So the sound effects are gonna be slow, but I am getting way better. Look, I can move my arm now. I have movement. I can kind of do stuff. I can move it. This is the first time in 4 days. I haven't been able to move my arm going back to Tuesday, really. Began Monday, but Tuesday is when I was really bad. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I couldn't move my arm at all. Friday I was able to get a little movement. And here we are Saturday. I got movement. I got movement. So whew, boy, I'm here to tell you, old Uncle Saint was injured. But I'm doing better, man. But I still can't control the sound effects with my left hand. I have to reach over with my right, so there'll be a little bit delayed on that. It is what it is. Brother Michael's in the building. What's good, fam? Yes. I want to get back into the swing of things, man. I missed my Thursday show. I wanted to do some stuff on Friday, but I was really hurting. It is what it is. Brother Donnie's in the building. What's good, fam? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Welcome. See the brothers checking in from Dallas. I am so far behind on what I was hoping to get accomplished this year. Still working on stuff though. We got the comedy shows doing okay. It's doing better than okay. The show is doing good. Um, we just have some things that we have to work on as a team to improve. But the show itself, like the quality of our shows and how we're doing our thing, is doing really well. We just gotta, you know, get the second half done. Like whenever you do something, there's always constant improvement. At least it should be. You should be constantly improving. You should be, troubleshooting, finding the problems, fixing the problems before they become big issues, which is what we're doing. Shout out to Darren. Shout out to the comedy art. But there are other things I wanted to get done and I just can't. So, not yet. I just kind of falling behind. But we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, life is a 4-quarter sport. You know what I mean? If you get behind in the first half, you got to make sure you finish strong in the second half. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is, man. I see the love in the chat. You know what I mean, brother John, brother Mike, showing that love in the chat, man. Today, man, we're gonna talk about the issues with cold approach, man. There's a debate out there with people in the space, people in the Mano Swamp. Like, cold approach is, man, the best thing ever. Every guy should do cold approach. If cold approach will solve any problems you're having. I don't agree with that. I think code approach is a skill that all men should have. You should hone that skill as best of your ability. But there are other ways to make things happen. I think that you should be familiar with all of the different techniques, right? I look at these different approach techniques as tools, bro. Like you need to be familiar with all your tools and use them accordingly, right? Like you can use a screwdriver, depending on what type of material the screwdriver is made of, to nail in something like that, to grab a nail and hammer it in. You can use that, but a hammer is what's best for that task, right? And that's what you talk about social circle versus code approach versus day game, night game, church game, doggy park game, nightclub game, right? All that kind of stuff, man. You need to be well versed in all of them. You have to just understand what's going on. And I'm hearing this argument about, maybe I'm late to the party. Maybe this has been going on for a while, but Michael Sartain, brother Mike, I'm a real big fan of his and what he's been doing. And his variant of the social circle game is far superior than anyone out there running cold approach. And that's coming from a guy who knows how to approach. I'm good at cold approach, right? And I didn't understand the different terms right away, but I had to sit down and think about it. And I'm like, you know what? I've been using various approaches my whole life. And I've kind of been watching the arguments go back and forth. We're gonna watch a video here. We're gonna react to, and I've been listening to both sides. And yeah, as a guy who is well versed in both techniques, I'm really good in both techniques. The social game, the social circle game, if it's used in the way that Michael Surtain uses his, it is far superior, in my opinion, than Code Approach. Far superior, because it is not just about women at that point. It's about, your network and your networking skills and abilities. Your network will get you there, man. There's a reason people say your network equals your net worth. It's a reason they say that, bro. It'll get you in the door. Brother Donnie was like, facts. Surtain social circle group is top notch. It's not even close. And I have to agree with that, bro. 100%, bro. So we're gonna get into this. Pretty sure you guys saw this video. This was before we get into this, y'all can see my head ain't right, man. Y'all know I ain't been doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I've kind of been out of it, man. But we need to start the show off, right? So how about we use that intro we spend so much time and effort to put together, man. So let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. All right, now the show's officially started. Let's get into it, bro. Let's definitely get some. So this is a clip. This is a 20-minute clip from a 2-hour podcast, right? So this was a debate between Michael Surtain and Marcus Wolf. I'm not sure who Marcus Wolf is, but I because of these videos I've been watching, of course, his name's been coming up more and more. So, and this guy is a huge proponent of the Code Approach. His thing is, the Code Approach is the way, it's better than any other approach. And he's pretty much the one that's out there making these claims. Alex from PWF had this debate with the two of them. He hosted it on his platform. And I watched the whole thing. Like I said, it's over 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken. And pretty good debate. A lot of back and forth. But yeah, I'm definitely with Brother Michael on this particular topic. And I'm not saying that all social game. I'm saying that Michael Surtain's version, what he's doing, makes sense. Because what Mike is doing is not about the girls. It's not. It's the girls are actually the byproduct of what they are doing. They are networking at a high level, making money, doing their thing, and the product that they are, pushing, or the product that they are selling, or whatever term you want to use, is beautiful women, right? And in Michael's and brother Mike's case, he's doing fundraising events and all that, like bikini competitions and all that, right? And he's in Vegas. So we're going to get into this. A lot to break down, but even when you strip away the Vegas party, even when you strip away the bikini contest, the social network that he's built, you can do that in pretty much any city. And that's gonna get you further than being able to just walk up and holla at some chick, right? So let's check out this debate.
To me, right? I always ask, like, what's your goal? So if he says, like, I want to be better with women and end up in a relationship with a girl that really respects me, that I like, and if I say, do you want a model? And he's like, no, listen, I don't want a girl that's like I'm happy with a nurse. I don't care if she's like, I don't want someone sitting on Instagram all day getting DMs from other guys and like wanting to go to other parties and stuff. Like, and this is the reason I'm saying is that most guys. Now, if you had a guy that says, look, I'm a promoter, I'm a photographer, and I just want to bang hot models. Yeah, maybe you want to take a networking course. Maybe you want to get, better at this and build that up. Sure. But if I'm Bob, I don't want to spend a year getting really good at all this networking to settle down with a girl and not have any more parties, right? And especially like if I'm sitting down with a girl, I want to have those skills that you do learn, in my opinion, a lot better from Cold Approach. And those are the skills that I want to implement for Bob. So I think.
So right off the rip, I think that, even his opening statement there about Bob wanting to meet a woman. And the first thing I do agree with what Marcus was saying here is like, oh, do you just want to meet you a hot bikini model type girl so you can smash? Or, the guy's like, no. I'll be happy with a nurse. Word? You'll be happy with a nurse? That's a big ask, my friend. Why? Because nurses make a lot of money, right? So I don't care what the nurse looks like. bro, if you don't meet her financial requirement per se, or if you're not on track to meet or exceed where she is financially, she ain't looking at you, bro. You're invisible. You're invisible, right? So right off rip, like I don't care how good your code approach is. When you get into the nitty gritty of it all, like bro, she might smash you a couple times. She might like having you around, but long term, I don't know if she's gonna want to rock with you, especially if you're not on the path to make the kind of money she needs you to make. Now, are there exceptions? Absolutely, there are exceptions. You know what I mean? But you know, this guy thinks that, well, because I have the ability, the confidence, the skill to walk up and introduce myself to women and have dates with those women and sleep with said women at some point, maybe even have a relationship with those women, that means that, my technique is far superior than yours. And it's like, nah, if you want a nurse, I would say to, this scenario you're talking about his friend Bob, like, well, if you want to trying to bag a nurse, long-term committed relationship, yeah, you can go to a bunch of nursing events and just go cold approach all the time, and that's cool. You're gonna get, smash a lot of nurses. But if you're trying to like have a serious relationship with them, you really want to get to know them. You want other nurses pulling for you. Imagine if you were the guy behind all of the events, like you're the guy who put these events together. Nurses for cancer or nurses for whatever. Like you're out there setting up events where nurses and doctors come and they do free work. They'll come out, go into a community, set up a tent, get generators, get all of the waivers needed, and you bring in a bunch of people in the medical field, basically set up a field hospital in the middle of nowhere for a day, and anyone who shows up can get free medical care. Imagine if you set that up. How many nurses will you then be able to meet and not have to worry about the creepiness of approaching? Now, another thing about this dude, Marcus, I bet this dude lives in Australia. This is a handsome fella. He has mastered his metrosexual game, right? This dude comes off, I'm not trying to call him soft in a, like a shade kind of way, but the dude, he's really in tune with his feminine side, right? Which is part of his game. And he just attributes all that to code approach. It's like, nah, bro, you're running this metrosexual game. And he travels. So it's like you're running this metrosexual game. You have enough financial freedom where you can travel the world pretty much when you want to, right? Which means you probably got yourself a good career. Yeah, you can go up and holler at as many women as you want to. You're going to be successful. But if Bob is 5'8" and got a few extra pounds and he's the manager or assistant manager at Target, he's not going to have the same results, right? But if he were to do a social thing, he would definitely get better results. Let's continue.
I think like for me, you need to be a little bit more specific who you're targeting when you're talking about social circles. Amazing. I think for very advanced, competent guys, amazing. For people that have networking in their job, if they're a promoter, if they're a photographer, if they're a DJ, amazing. But if you're regular old Bob, right, and you've been on Alex Playing with Fire stream and you've got some advice, I think social circle is horrible for you. I think it's teaching you to be more friendly. I think it's teaching you to supplicate a little bit. I think it's teaching you to like select for a certain type of girl. I think that it's not allowing you the right environment to be able to actually fuck up a little bit. And it seems like these social circle skills that you're teaching is very much based around networking and very little about if I took Bob and threw him in fucking Poland and to walk around for a bit, like what does he start another whole new social circle over again, or is he good with women?
No, let's let Michael respond to all.
So, and they got this set up in a good format, like a debate format. They, Alex is trying to give equal time to both sides, was kind of cool. Like if you watch the whole thing, it is definitely worth watching. But that last little bit at the end where Marcus was saying the average dude would do better with code approach versus social circle. Like, well, what if he goes to Poland? He has to start up his whole circle again. You're going to do that anyway. Wherever you go, you're going to have yourself a circle. There's going to be people who orbit you that that you rock with. That's your social circle. What brought you to Poland? Probably work. So you got people from work who are going to help you get integrated into Poland. They're going to take you around, right? That's your social circle. I don't know why I can't get those words out. You know what I mean? That's what's helping you build your network. You got to have a network. When I moved to Tampa from LA, I had to build a network. My family here, that was a good start. I met their friends. And then from there, I built my own thing. I went out. Yes, I know how to cold approach. So I'll go out, I talk to women, I talk to people, whatever. And then I start to meet my own folks. I meet bartenders and bouncers and whatever. When I go to nightclubs, I meet club owners. I meet regular people. I meet my own thing. I made my own thing. So after a few years, I got my own circle all set up. Hey, and my circle tends to hover around the comedy world. In LA, it was comedy, it was air traffic, like aviation, and it was also writers, like the movie business, entertainment. So out here, okay, yeah, I'm not writing as much, doing a little bit of writing, but I'm really focused on the comedy right now, especially the stuff that we're doing. And that brings certain folks around, and that's part of my circle. Wherever you go, you're gonna have to start your circle. So I don't know, I don't get that part. It's like, well, you got to start up your whole social circle wherever you end up. It's like, you're gonna have to do that anyway, bro. And I mean, cold approaching, like, what's that about? Like, you just out here talking to women, and if you're not good at it, you approach 4 or 5, maybe, let's say the 50 women that you talk to. You made bad approaches, and like you said, you need to learn the lessons. All right, you made bad approaches, it didn't work. You're in a smaller town. Those women are gonna talk to other women. So before you know it, your reputation precedes you, and women are pointing, they see you coming, you're already in trouble. Whereas if they meet you through an event, oh, you through this event, oh, I didn't know you did this, oh, I didn't know you do that, you did that, oh, you work with my friend Sarah or whatever. That's a whole different kind of thing, which is almost normal in America. So yeah, I don't know where I don't know that part right there. I don't know what he was talking about. Brother Donnie is saying that Marcus Wolf is a pickup artist. Oh, I personally think it's mainly short-term game. Yes, I agree with you, DL. Once a lady gets to know the real you, and if you can't meet her long-term requirements, financial, most guys will be done for. That's facts. That's a fact, man. And it is what it is. So the PUA world, man, that's just really smashing. From what I can tell about the pickup artistry, these are the dudes out here who are just trying to smash chicks. They're not trying to have a long-term relationship. They're just trying to smash. And like I said, I didn't say this, but a very wise person said this once a long time ago. All's fair in love and war. So these guys are out here just trying to smash. They don't care. So from a pickup artist perspective, the short term is all that matters. The social circle, that's more of a long-term thing because you're networking and because you care about your brand. And that's like a whole nother thing. So let's listen to what Brother Mike has to say about all this.
Yeah, so it's a great question. The thing in Poland, he brings it with him because of his social media. But going back to what you said before, I've been in this since the beginning. I got Neil Strauss's number in my phone. Pickup in general has made more guys fucking weird. I understand what you're saying about a skill set, and I believe that maybe if you're the guy who can teach it properly, the vast majority of dudes who I see do pick up for a while, what they do is they become so desensitized from feedback from women that they just become weirder and weirder as they start to try to escalate in a club. They get kicked out of clubs, and then here's the main thing for me, Marcus. I am on stage at the Marquee Skydeck at EDC. I am backstage at Burning Man. I am in these places where I'm looking around and seeing these Fortune 500 CEOs, and I have yet to see one single pickup artist up there. Because whenever these guys are around, they're always just doing weird things in GA that is weirding them out, and they're getting kicked out of the clubs.
Who are you talking?
And you say it's GA, you're talking about general admission. So, Brother Mike is in Vegas. And for those of you who haven't been to Vegas, Vegas is his own beast, bro. There's nothing like Vegas, nowhere on the planet that I've ever been to. Vegas is his own beast. The nightlife in Vegas is so, God, you can go to Vegas a million times and not see the same people, right? Like you can, if you're a gambler, you have your favorite casino, you're gonna have your favorite, pit, and you'll have your favorite dealer. I've seen that. We had dealers that knew us. We would come all the time. And I mean, I'm talking like years and years, like, decades. We'll go and they know us because they make so much money. Like dealing in Vegas is a great gig. It's really hard to find people in Vegas who are from Vegas, living in Vegas. The streets in Vegas are cold. It's treacherous, bro. You got to be careful out there. The way they get down, bro, like it's the criminal element in Vegas is crazy. They come together. They work together. You'll have rival sets and gangs coming to Vegas and they'll click up and work together. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. You'll have, you'll have some dudes from like 18th Street, and a guy that's like a Swan. You know what I mean? You'll have a guy that's like Pacoima. You'll have some other dudes out there who is like, AP, like Armenian Power, and they're all in Vegas for whatever reason. They'll click up and start hitting licks together. You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean, Uncle Saint? That means they go out there and start committing crimes together as a crew. They'll just click up in Vegas and they'll go back to LA. They go back to their sets. They're enemies. But in Vegas, they're together. So like the streets are treacherous. The folks who live in Vegas, pretty much all of them working in some way, shape, or form with the industry there, which is gambling and entertainment. Brother Mike is out there, bro, and I'm telling you, it is hard to get into nightclubs in Vegas. If you don't know anyone, it's hard. You're going to have a lot of money and be willing to spend it, right? Or you're going to have to know somebody. Those are the two ways. When he talks about being on stage, like all the nightclubs in Vegas, they got the stage, and the people on the stage or celebrities and like the cool kids and the wealthy folks, the whales, they're on the stage. That's why you'll always hear Brother Mike talking about getting on stage here, getting on, you know what I mean? The equivalent in LA is like coming in the back entrance, walking through the kitchen, going to they always have like special hideaway rooms in most of the clubs in LA. They'll have special VIP sections. I used to be a club called Deep in LA a long time ago. Back in the day, it burned down. But if you ever saw the video, It's Getting Hot in Here, like that from Nelly, that video, that was Deep. Deep used to have so many nooks and crannies and like little VIP rooms. They take you in there, and if you a cool kid, that's where they'll take you to. Like, yo, that's where the real top G's are, right? You know what I mean? So that's LA. Or getting invited to somebody's party in the hills. That's LA. That's how they do it with the cool kids. Miami is boats, mansion parties. Like you get somebody invite you to the yacht, someone invites you to the penthouse party or the mansion party. That's how it works in Miami. New York, they have like exclusive kind of things, getting backstage, you know what I mean, getting into, the VIP areas, and then they'll bring you like, hey, come up to our Tribeca place, or, come uptown or wherever, and you get into their, their real nice lofts and penthouses and stuff like that. Like, yeah, we're on Park Ave, come up. That's New York. Every city's a little different, right? So, to get with the cool kids takes work. Either you're going to have the money to be you're a wealthy person, and that's what got you in there. You got some sort of clout, like you're an athlete or a superstar, like movie star or producer or something like that. That'll get you back there, or your network is going to get you back there. Brother Mike that's the networking thing. And that's just what it is. We got Brother West in the building. What's good, man? Yes. I can move my arm a little bit better. We had a meeting last night, man. My arm is even better today than it was last night, man. But it still hurts. I ain't gonna lie to you. It still hurts. Brother Cody is King is in the building. What's good, fam? This sounds like clown shit. He's saying all dudes who cold approach are weird. Meanwhile, his style is getting chewed out live by his mid-beach. Oh, his mid-beach. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, I had to watch 2 hours of this, and I've been, checking this story, this debate back and forth. I'm on Brother Michael's side on this. Marcus Wolf, what Marcus is saying, it's not gonna get you as far as what Surtain is saying. I'm just gonna keep it 100, bro. And anyone who's out here in the trenches, you're gonna be using a variant of both. You gotta have game. This is all part of, you have to have game. You have to be able to go up and talk to women, you know what I mean? Talk, single women, or talk to groups. You're going to have to be able to do that. You're going to have to know, you're going to have a social awareness to see what she's doing and who she's trying to get at, or who she might be with. You might, I can't tell you how many times I'll be somewhere checking out some woman. Like, all right, she don't check me out. She's giving choosing signals, but she's in a group. Well, let me go holler at one of these dudes, or let me go holler at one of the fat girls in the group and find out what's going on. I want to find out who this woman is before this might turn into something. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just want to know. A lot of times you go up to the guy, especially if the guy's gay, that's them the best ones, bro. They will break it all the way down. They'll tell you, like, you trying to holler at that girl, they be like, no, don't mess with her. Go mess with her over here. And if a gay dude is telling you which woman to talk to, that's the woman you talk to. And he'll put you on. He'll introduce you and everything else. Same with the unattractive women, the big girls. They'll do the same thing. They'll tell you like, she's cool, but she's kind of a bitch. that girl over there, though, she is such a sweetheart. Bet. Let me go meet her. Right? Sometimes you don't have that luxury. So that's where the cold approach stuff comes in. Let me go over my cold approach, see what's up. I'm gonna read her vibes on, when I make my approach, I'm gonna read her vibes. And if it ain't right, I'm backing out. What brother Mike is talking about, the event itself will weed out a bunch of women, and the event itself will bring their guards down. There is a lot. I believe there's a lot to his science, to his method with this stuff. The pickup artistry. If you're a handsome dude, you're tall, right? You're in shape. Yeah, man. Pickup artistry is gonna work for you all the time because women gonna want to holler at you. They just see you. You know what I mean? And this Marcus guy, like I said, he uses that metrosexual energy, man. He plugs into his feminine side, and that's how he flanks these chicks. He comes down with femininity, and they fall for it every single time. Like, it is what it is, bro. But we're gonna keep going in, getting into it. You know what I mean? But you need both. But I would say if I had to pick one, and in this case we have to pick one because this is the debate. Is this better than that? I would say the social game, right? The social circle, that networking is far superior. And we're gonna get into some other reasons why in a minute. A lot of it, revolves around the type of woman that you have access to. Which again, that social game, bro, is crazy, man. It's crazy. So here we go. Let's continue.
Sorry. When you say, "Oh, you've never seen one pickup artist," who you talking about? Neil Strauss? Like, who do you mean?
No. I'm talking about. We can go anywhere from Todd Valentine to Owen Cook to whoever you want. Any pickup artist. When I'm on stage at XS, I have yet to see one guy who's a pickup instructor or pickup students up there ever.
Yeah,
I just don't see them get to the
goal for these guys, right? I don't think that goal.
Yeah, but that's where the hotter women are. That's where the hotter women are.
Listen, there's hot women. You got to listen. I just came back from Poland. Okay, you want to every second girl there is hotter than fucking half the models.
There's some hot women in Poland for sure.
Yeah, and even like I went to Austin not too long ago, right? Now I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like the girls up on the stage at XS the normal that you get in Austin, but they're really cute, attractive girls in Austin. And I would argue once again, I think in a relationship, I wouldn't want my girlfriend to be one of these.
I think you misunderstand. I think you misunderstand what I'm saying. You misunderstand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I should see some pickup artists eventually be able to walk up to the ropes and get into a club easily instead of standing in line for GA. At some point, I should be in the Marquee Sky Deck and see some pickup artists. And what I've seen for 15 years is pickup students become weirder and weirder and weirder, and more women complain about them. And those guys started off as basics. What I do, though, honestly, Marcus, so here's the thing. I don't think Alex told you this. I don't teach a dating course. I teach a networking course, right? And one of the things that I do is because of what happened. So I've had Adam Lyons. He's a buddy of mine. Adam was sitting there talking to me about what happened with Owen Cook when RSD, when they canceled Alex Jones. Adam Lyons calls up Owen Cook and says, "Hey, we got to take this content down because you're going to get canceled." Now, I have a bunch of clients, and you know as well as I do, a lot of uncalibrated guys come to us. So I have a decision to make. Do I start teaching a course where I start teaching guys, well, you can escalate, but maybe a little bit like this or not like this? Or do I teach a course where you can get 7 girls to every guy? I have a book literally by one called The Evolution of Desire by David Buss, which teaches this, and another book called The Setup by Dan Bilzerian, which shows exactly what I'm talking about. I use this framework and I say, do we do this, have women compete over us and not end up with a fucking grape charge and not end up in that type of situation where we see it over and over again and then have my content pulled off of YouTube? So what I'm saying is, from a beginner standpoint, I have been watching for the last 15 years pickup make dudes weirder and weirder and weirder.
I gotta agree with that, man. I done seen some of the weirdest shit, man, hanging out in the Mano Swamp and going to events. And dudes are completely awkward, man. They really don't know what they're doing. They'll take some of these courses, they'll read some books, but what they don't have is the application training. Like, they don't know how to apply this stuff, bro. They'll go out there, even the guys they'll do something it may be working with a woman. He gets lost in his steps. You know what I mean? Like step 1, step 2, step 3, he gets lost in his steps and he screws up because at some point the real you has to emerge. At some point you got to close. And then when you run out of steps, now it's just on you, bro. And they can't do that part. You know what Marcus was talking about, going, like, again, he said he was in Poland. He's like, he's in Poland, over in Europe. He's like, yeah, I was recently in Austin, Texas, America. I believe the guy lives in Australia. So it's like, all right, this dude, right? Forget PUA. This guy has experiences and he knows how to talk to people. He's golden. No matter where he goes, no matter what hemisphere he's in, he's golden, right? That works for him. But when he starts to talk about the average guy, hey, what about Bob? Man, Bob needs some help. Bob is never going to reach Marcus's level of confidence. He's never going to reach Marcus's level of success because Bob is probably not over 6 feet. Bob, like I said, has a few extra pounds or he's outright fat. You know what I mean? He has bad skin. He smells funny. His hair ain't right. Women ain't trying to hear nothing. They're like, ew, get away. But you look at this Marcus dude, he's a handsome fella. He walks up, she wants to talk to him. He has an accent. Oh, shit. This man has an accent. Where are you from? I'm from Australia, or whatever he says. She's already intrigued, right? 75% of the battle is already won. And then I'll get to the same place. What will I do? I'll sit back and shut up and let her start talking. What will he do? This Marcus dude, I don't know him personally, but I guess he would start going into some feminine stuff. He'll start, showing her, demonstrating to her how in tune he is with his female side. And boy, oh boy, that works too. I don't do it, but hey, it works. You know what I mean? Brother Pitney in the building. What's good, fam? A Saturday night stream with a pleasant surprise. Yeah, man. I miss Thursday. I hate when I miss a show, and I always want to try to make it work. Plus, I'm down. I'm injured. I'm not going outside. I'm just resting. So I'm like, you know what? I'm in a house. I need to do a stream. I did one on downrange today, and I'm doing this one. And if I can't wait till I can type again. I can't type. I can move my arm around, but I can't type. I can't hit these buttons yet. So hopefully by Monday I'll be able to type again, and I can catch up on some other stuff. But yeah, this someone who is new to this thing, dating, getting out here, getting after women, bro, if they don't have the height, they don't have the looks, they don't have the charm, they're going to have some issues. Pickup artistry is only going to get them so far. And a lot of those, and let's face it, the game, no matter what tool you're using, it's all about how many women you talk to. It's a numbers game. No matter what, it's a numbers game. So even if your game is atrocious, bro, you're going to go out here and talk to 100 women, and 99 of them think you're weird, but that last one, number 100, for whatever reason, she's into you because, I don't know, you said something about anime and she's an anime girl. Bam, that guy doesn't care. He's going to be, yeah, this pickup artistry stuff worked. I got one girl. And to him, he's like, that was worth whatever he paid to get the information. When the guy just doesn't realize, man, it's just a numbers game. Just go out here and talk to another 100. You might get another one. You know what I mean? You talk to 200 girls and you get 2. A lot of these guys are happy with that. I think that's an extreme amount of work just to get 2. But hey, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. And it has nothing to do with the PUA. And it has nothing to do with the social game either, if you really look at it. But with the social circle, if it's set up right, your group will be full of the type of women you want to rock with. I got a lot of respect for Brother Michael, but you probably won't see me at any of his events. I just don't see that happening. And the reason I wouldn't be there, especially if I'm trying to get on with women, is just the type of women that he's into aren't the same type of women that I'm into. And that's kind of what Brother Cody was talking about. You know what I mean? Like, you watch his show, bro. He brings on women that he personally knows. They had these conversations, man. I can't watch them all. A lot of these women, they just go crazy. Only time I'll watch if they got Fresh and Fit on there, I'll watch that. Because Myron will be kicking out his girls. Like, get out of here. Shut up. Get out. Bye. And it's hilarious. I don't think they do it anymore. Last time they was on there, like Myron got rid of a couple. And I don't think the girls will come on the show anymore. They're so deathly afraid of someone like Myron. But the disrespect is just ridiculous. And a lot of it is because these women have never been told no. Again, he's in Vegas, bro, and he's dealing with a certain type of woman, and it is what it is. He's not dealing with the masses. He's not dealing with general population. But if you want a taste of that life, I would absolutely say try his system. And not only will you be around those type of women or the type of women that you want, but you'll be in a position where you're making money. And now you're rubbing elbows with successful dudes that could lead to who knows what down the road. Like you might be able to put some events together in other cities across the world. And that's like, that's a good thing. Too many dudes out here are just trying to figure out a way to meet a woman. And it's like, bro, all these different ways aren't going to help you, man. Like the stuff that I do, people like, how come you don't do, like the Zoom courses and you don't do this and that? I'm like, nah, man, you want my help? We got to go out into the trenches. I say this all the time. What city are you in? We go into your city, or we can meet in the city, or you can come to my city and we'll go out. We'll get into the trenches. Just think of me as like your coach. I could be like your batting coach, your receiver coach, whatever coach, linebacker coach, whatever. I'm out there watching you in real time. And I can sit there and tell you, hey, man, I think you did this wrong. This right here, this approach was absolutely wrong. Before we go out, talk about, the way you dress, like, hey, man, go change that. Take them pants off, bro. Go put on some pants that fit. Take that shirt off. Go put on something, a little more sensible. Here's some cologne you might want to try. I mean, we're going to go over every single aspect of what it is you're doing. And I can give you real-time feedback on what you're doing and why I think that might not be working. Now, there are limits, right? You can't be at home about to close with some chick and think I'm going to be sitting on the sofa next to you like, okay, now take your finger and put it here. Nah, it's not. There are limits, guys. You know what I mean? There are limits. But for the most part, I can get you out there, get you over the approach anxiety, have you out there. Y'all know what it is. Always be talking shit. ABTS all day, every day. Just getting you into the right mindset. And what that does is get your numbers up. Now, some people will say, well, that's pickup right there. I don't do nagging. I don't do all that. Like the stupid mind games. I don't do that type shit, man. I ain't got time for it. Keep it pushing. If she's giving you attitude today, don't worry about it. Break contact immediately. Hey, appreciate your time, or sorry to waste your time. However you want to say, walk away with your head held high, and that's it. You might bump into her later on down the road. You know what I mean? But right now she tripping. She in the moment right now, who knows what's going on with her? Don't call her out by her name or nothing. Just walk away. Just walk away. You know what I mean? Stay on that high ground. Don't get down in it. Don't get down in the gutter with her, man. It is what it is. Her friends or some other women might be watching that interaction and will come up to you like, oh my gosh, she was such a bitch. Like, why was she? What was that all about? Complete stranger. And you just tell her, like, I just went over to compliment her nails. I thought she had nice nails. And then, well, you saw the rest. Oh my God, really? Like, yeah, sometimes, that's why it's so hard these days, meeting good women. And then the woman she'll take that opportunity to continue the conversation. Now you can tell her how pretty her nails are, or tell her, hey, I dig your style. If she's dressed really nice, or compliment her on her purse. These are the kind of things is like, you need to be socially in tune so you can pick up on these things. That does fall under the code approach. It really does. And that's why I say that's a tool that you should have, but the social game, way better. Way better. Way more women. You don't have to work nearly as hard, especially if it gets you into a situation where you're on the stage, like you said, or you're in the back rooms, or you're in the yacht parties, the mansion parties. When women go to those events, bro, when they see you in there, they're like, you're somebody. You can't get in here if you're not somebody. If you're not the man, you know the man. So they're going to holler at you. This is why Fresh is so successful. And this is before Fresh and Fit. This is why he's so successful, bro. He was in those parties. I was a cool kid for a little bit out there in LA doing what I was doing. And people would talk to me like, oh, yeah, he was at so-and-so's party. Hey, you going to be at the next one? I won't be at the next one. I'll tell him I got something else to do. But the truth was, I wouldn't invite him. You know what I mean? But I won't tell him that. I got something else to do. A lot of times they'll bring you to these parties. That's the networking side. They're both equally important, and you should master them both. Brother Pitney, pickup artistry tactics are just that, tactics. Yep. Demonstrations of higher values, social circle, etc. all come naturally when you level up. No need to learn the tricks of the trade if you learn the trade. That's a good point. Now, there's a lot of guys out there who they are leveling up, but they neglect the game part of it. They just like, you know what? I'm leaving women alone. Let me go get this money. Let me get myself together. Then boom, here I am. All these women see him. He's getting all his attention, and he doesn't know how to deal with them. And for a lot of those dudes, it's just easy for them to reach into their wallet and do whatever. And it's like, hey, man, you got to know the game. That's the key. You got to do it all at the same time. You got to build yourself up so you're ready for these women. And then now you can choose who you want to deal with and how you're going to deal with them. But so many guys, they neglect that part. And that's to their own detriment, right? So, you know, it's just kind of crazy. Brother 90s is in the building. What's good, fam? Yes, please like the video for the algo. I know when we have women on, we get more people on and we get more engagement, and it does push it. I mean, the algo starts pushing it. So I'm out talking to more women, getting more women to do this show. So you guys are going to be seeing that moving forward. Let's continue the video.
And what I do, guys never get kicked out of parties. They end up dating fucking beautiful women. They get access to incredible places. They get better jobs. They end up starting businesses. They end up getting connected with venture capitalists. They end up with better social media. And yes, do they do some cold approach? Like I said before, I got 20 guys we're coaching on cold approach tonight. If you go to Omnia, you'll see them all. But what their job to do is, Marcus, is when you were talking about before about transactional. One of the issues is if I'm playing basketball.
Can I respond to that?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with you. Okay. Most pickup guys are fucking weird. Most pickup coaches are awful, right? I'm not disagreeing with you here, but you would probably say the same about social circle coaches. You already have.
Not to be arrogant, I don't think there's ever been a social circle coach before I taught it. And by the way, I can show videos. I can show you videos of me and OE8 teaching this.
We don't.
And you know, Brother Mike is constantly pushing what he does. He's constantly pushing MOA. Let me show you successful stories and da-da-da. And they're there. And he's, to his credit, yeah, he's helped some dudes out. A lot of guys, right? This version of this game really does work. I ain't gonna lie to you. It really does work. We got to put a lot of hard work into it. And they start getting into the weeds on how he actually does it. It's crazy. The way I do it, if I'm out with someone, I'll tell the dude, like, I'll point to a woman. Her right there in the blue dress. You see her? Yeah, I see her. Go get her social media. That's it. Just go over there, get her social media. That's it. That's your mission. And he'll go over, talk to her. He'll come back with the social media or he'll come back without it. And most of the time, you know, I'm like, because that task should only take you a couple of minutes. Go up, pardon me, hey, how you doing? Say whatever you're going to say. Man, you got Instagram? Yeah, Facebook. Get that and then be out. Get that and be out, because a lot of guys, they think themselves out of the situation. They put so much pressure to go approach these women. This anxiety is crazy. You give them a task, just go do this, and then they come right back and they're good. They come, but sometimes they'll get the social media and then they'll continue. They won't disengage. They'll continue, and then they'll, you know, talk themselves right out of it. Because off rip, she's talking to you, bro. She's impressed. You know, you're wearing a suit. You got on a nice blazer, a nice shirt. You know what I mean? Your accessories look good. You got on some clean jeans that they fit right. You got on some nice shoes. She sees you. Okay, he doesn't look like a weirdo. Sure. Here's my Facebook. Here's my Instagram. They don't care. I say Facebook because a lot of times I'll send them after older women. Most of the older women got Facebook. So I'm like, oh, yeah, here's my Facebook. Doesn't bother her much. Disengage and come on back, right? Mission accomplished. Let's go. But they keep going. They think they got something because she smiled. And then, oh, now here comes the awkwardness. Here comes the weirdness. Now they try to, oh, you know, I did read this book from mystery. Let me try this. Let me try the nigga. Now she's out of there. She leaves. It's like, man, I thought he was a cool guy. He turns out to be a weirdo. The dudes will come over and I'm watching the whole thing. A lot of times I'm standing right there. I'll be at the bar listening to the whole thing go down. And then, you know, the woman walks off and I'm like, you think you're not blocked already? You know, when you hit her up on social media, you know she's going to block you, right? Well, what happened? Like, all you had to do was get her social media, bro. You got her social media. It took you 2 minutes. You should have walked away. But she's hot, bro. And she was looking at me and well, that's what we're wrong, bro. I'm trying to teach you how to crawl. And here you are trying to run sprints. You know what I mean? And you blew it, bro. Now she's going to tell all her friends you're a weirdo. If you had done what I asked you to do, accomplished your goals, disengaged, and came back, she'll be going and telling all her friends, like, oh, that nice guy over there. You know what I mean? He just asked for my, you know, social media. It was a cool conversation we had. He was, you know, he complimented me on blah, blah, blah. All that. What a difference another 3 minutes makes. So the pickup artistry, there's not a lot of room for error. Because I mean, you're gonna make errors, and you're gonna make mistakes. But when you make the mistakes, they're harsh because in the moment, because she's gonna go back to whoever she's with, and she's gonna report to them that you're a weirdo. But if you do it properly, she'll go back and report like, oh, he's a real one. That's a cool dude. And her friend might be like, well, I was checking him out when we first got here. Oh, let me go introduce you. And this is the difference. You know what I mean? So as a pickup artist guy, as a cold approach dude, you could be hurting yourself if you do it wrong, right? Cool. Social circle, bro, you have so many moving parts. Whatever you're doing, it doesn't allow you to spend more time with someone. You got other stuff to do. So you really barely have enough time to get their number, like get their name, I don't get numbers that often. I get Instagrams, to get their Instagram and be out, because you got to go put out a fire over here. You got to go put out a fire over there. Someone's going to come up to you. You know what I mean? Most of the time when I'm doing events, I got a radio in my ear. So, I got stuff going on. Women find that attractive, bro. Like, this guy has stuff going on. Like, oh, he's busy. Other people coming looking for you. They're going to want to talk to you. Like, oh, you're part of this? Like, yeah, we're trying this. Are you having a good time? You having any problems? No, I just wanted to tell you guys you're doing great. Okay, great. You know what? What's your name? Shake their hands or whatever. Get their Instagram real quick and move on. You won't have time to mess that up. Right? And then as your brand grows, you find yourself in better venues around bigger and better folks. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like what he's saying. But I think it's funny that brother Mike is always pushing. He's always pushing his program, which I guess you should be, man. This is a business funnel, right? That's what YouTube is. That's what social media is. It's a business funnel. And there's a lot of guys out here who need that help. Lady Navarro's in the building. What's good, sis? Good to see you, sis. But let's get back to what we were talking about. The networking thing, I believe, is far superior to the cold approach, but you need both. You need to be proficient at both.
Before anyone else. Go ahead.
So basically what you're saying is like social circle, everyone that's taught that and coached that before has been absolutely rubbish. So ignore that. I guess I'm kind of saying the same for pickup. Now, I had a bit of a nuance here in the fact that I think a lot of guys are probably weird before pickup, right? I don't think pickup made them weird. I think if you follow a lot of RSD advice, like lying in the street, maybe it made you a little bit more weird. But if you take some practical advice that something like Alex or myself would teach, then it's not going to make you more weird. It's going to actually allow you to calibrate, right? But it's going to do it in a way where you can, once again, you can have the ability to fuck up. It's a better learning environment. So just because Owen Cook is...
No, I'm not saying Owen Cook. Please stop. Like, Owen Cook is great. I'm not talking about Owen Cook.
Well,
I'm saying what's happened in general. Okay, you don't think Owen Cook's right. Well,
that's fine.
Well, he's been a buddy of mine for a while. But my point is this. What I found is over time, what's happened is we've taken this calibration we were looking for. What we did is we pushed them into these environments where instead of actually learning the skill, like you're saying that they're learning the skill. And my whole thing is, I think they're learning to avoid calibration by just consistently going up and up again and doing it over and over again. But you've seen it before where these guys like turn into fucking Marines and they just go after every single girl they see to the point where they get kicked out of a bar. And the thing is, there's a way to do this with social calibration. Bro, you know as well as I do, Marcus. If you have a playmate on your arm and you walk up to the hottest girl ever, she's 100 times more likely to not be weirded out by you. It's just so much easier with hotter girls.
To have a playmate on your arm, to get to this level, you need foundational skills. This is my whole point. You said yourself, you're running a networking course, right? So once again, I think a networking course is really good for someone that has the basic social skills, that is already good with women, that maybe like is doing it to increase their money or wealth. Like going back to that point, you said how it's helped guys in other areas of their life. Guess what? So does cold approach, right?
Now, this part of the conversation, man, I'm kind of, like Marcus is kind of losing me. Marcus really downplays or just doesn't understand the base of the basis of his success is purely his physical attributes. Now I could be wrong. Dude might be 5'5". I don't know. I think the dude's over 6 feet. I ain't never met the guy. I bet you he's over 6 feet. Like again, he's financially, he's there. able to travel the way he's traveling and all that kind of stuff. And I believe he says he's in the medical field. So he's surrounded by women, right? Just by virtue of what he does. Like, I'm in the medical field. Word. You're around all these beautiful young women and their friends and family, right? Their social network. And he knows how to talk. These PUA guys, bro, when they go out, man, the PUA guys, the self-proclaimed proclaimed pimps, bro, they're out there with 6s, 7s, maybe at 8. You know what I mean? Like these pickup artistry guys, man, they'll get themselves at 8 and be like, man, out of it. It'd be crazy. Like, and, you know, that's good. You got yourself at 8. But if you're running your network game someplace like Miami, LA, right? If I'm running my networking game and let's say that I'm going to a rap party for a film that I consulted on, right? I was just kind of consulting, or maybe I was an EP, executive producer on the project. We have the rap party, whatever. I'm surrounded by beautiful actresses, right? None but 8s, 9s, and 10s. But I'm out there, especially if it was union, right? We're rapping a union project. Come on now. I'm surrounded by that, and they all trying to come holler at me. They all gonna shake my hand and say thanks for the opportunity, or they're gonna want to come pick my brain about certain aspects of the project, whatever. They all coming to holler at me, bro. All of them. And you will see every now and then some of these events, a pickup artistry dude to get in there, a friend of a friend, and he's running up against brick wall after brick wall because he's just running sheer numbers. And it's like, cool, even a good one, he's running sheer numbers. He's just going to talk, you know, just win this one, this one, this one, because he would love to pull any woman out of this event because they're all beautiful. That's gonna be like a stunner for him. It's gonna be in his you know, top tier stable. Man, if I could pull one out of here, I see it all the time. He didn't get in there because of his network per se. Like, you know, like, let me phrase this properly. He didn't get in there because he talked his way in there. He got in there because of his network. I think that's the best way to say it. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, bro, if you plugged in with somebody who can get you into this event, then you can go ahead and run your game. That's what's up. But all of the women know you're in there. All of the actresses, all of the producers, all of the women in there know you in there. The food service folks, the waitresses and the bartenders and all that, they know you in there because you hollering at everybody and they see it. So if it's this dude, Marcus, not a problem. Handsome dude, tall fella, got himself together, right? He knows, you know, he's working his game, is working pretty good. But if he's the average dude, Bob, the average dude, you know what I mean? What is he? 5'7", 5'8", 170, 180 pounds. You know what I'm saying? We got, you know, messed up facial hair like that dude. And he's in there talking to every woman in the rap party, making them uncomfortable. They're going to ask him to leave. Like, get dude out of here. Who is that guy? Who brought him? Because we know he wasn't part of the project. Who brought him? He got to go. And that's generally what happens to pickup artists. And the guys who don't have the social IQ that it takes to read the room. Sometimes you got to be patient. And I know that. Like, I'm sitting there gunning. I'm not gunning in here. I've been to so many political events. I'll go into the event and I'm just sitting there chilling. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not trying to holler at nobody. Not yet. I'll wait till later. I'll wait till the next. Okay, we're all going to the after thing. I'll go there. And then people are, you know, undoing their ties and loosening up. That's when I'm going to try to holler. And I'm not trying to holler at everyone in the room. Y'all know I start at the top and work my way down. I'm going to start with the finest woman I see and work my way down. So they're only going to see me talk to maybe 3 or 4 women max. And I'm going to get one of them. You feel me? So pickup artist, she doesn't do that. At least from what I could tell. The pickup artists, man, they talk to every single woman they see. Every single one is holla, 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 holla. I would hit the button, but my arm's messed up, y'all. My bad. So I'm gonna, but they're just every single woman they see, holla, 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 holla. And again, if you don't have the physical attributes that they want, man, they're gonna tell on you, bro. They're gonna go to security or whatever who's running. Who is that guy? If that's not your cousin from Boston, And by that, I mean the guy who's running it. Who is that guy over there? Oh, that's my cousin from Boston. If that's not the case, he's out of there, bro. That's what pickup artistry will get you if you're not using your social IQ. But most of these dudes, they don't have that. It's tied to the networking game. You have to use your social awareness in order just to get the event off the ground. So I think maybe that's the difference between the two. You know, now that we're having this conversation out loud, I think the difference is the pickup artists, they don't necessarily care about their social IQ or how they're seen, kind of like what Brother Michael was just saying. They're just kind of going in as shock troops, doing the same thing over and over and over again. Is very robotic. Whereas people who care about the brand, their brand, people who are networking, they move in such a way that socially they're okay. No one's gonna be like, that weirdo is making me uncomfortable. So, and then they know who to talk to, who not to talk to. They see the women who are problems and they can stay away from them. Like, oh, little shorty, she just wants attention. I'm gonna stay away from her. You make a mistake. You think someone's cool. They turn around and they come at you with some negativity. Then you know to just walk away, break contact. That's the social awareness that I think a lot of pickup artists are missing.
Myself, and I'm sure Alex can speak to this as well, is I change drastically the type of person I am because of cold approach. I think is the greatest therapy you can actually do is putting yourself in front of a girl and letting her actually reject you and let you know what's not right, as opposed to thinking, oh, fuck, he's hosting a party, whatever, I'll just ignore him then. I think with our students, we've had many guys that have given testimonials, not just for the cold approach skill, right? They think they come in and trying to get hot girls, but they realize they change who they are as a person in terms of like self-esteem, confidence, the ability to get like work and jobs, the ability to network, right? It also comes from practicing cold approach. Now, I agree, just to finalize this, I agree, you need guidance, right? If you just have these RSD fucking guys that are going out nonstop, just spam approaching, doing the same thing over and over again, ignoring feedback from girls and being just retarded about it, then yeah, of course it doesn't work, right? They're just banging their head against the wall. The same way if someone did that in a social circle, right? Even if they were advanced and did like a retarded method, of course they're just not going to get anywhere. So I think like, yes, they need guidance. And that's why, people like us cold approach coaches are here.
But the other thing I want to bring up, Marcus, because this is also another misconception, is that I never did cold approach. That's all I did for 10 years. That's where I came up with this. What happened for me was, I remember I was going out with a bunch of pickup guys, and then I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, and there were these club promoters that I met, and it was like so crazy the effortless manner that these guys could get 30, 40, 50, 100 girls to show up, and they always had the hottest girlfriends. I disagree with you on this one point, this idea that if I bring a bunch of girls to an event that they wouldn't hang out with me after the event. I find the complete opposite to be true, because they look at the alpha quality of me being a leader and a connector. And I'm the first person that they call when they want to go do. I am the first person most girls in Las Vegas, when they come visit Las Vegas, you should see my DMs of all these stunning women that hit me up. I'm the first person they hit up when they come here. All I can ask.
I believe that, man. Vegas moves like that, bro. It is a certain type of person that goes to Vegas. I don't mean as a negative comment. I don't mean it as a positive comment. I'm just letting you know, Vegas is its own beast. It doesn't work like the other big cities. It just doesn't. I believe Brother Mike when he making a statement like that. If you grab his DMs, you look at his phones, I bet you it is inundated with beautiful women trying to find out what's up. Why? He's the plug. He is the plug. He can get them access to whatever it is they're trying to get. Right? That's the equivalent of being let's say I was the best casting agent in LA and Brother Mike is my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be hollering at him. If you start right there with me, he's getting into every club. He's getting into every restaurant. He's at every event. They're going to be hollering at dude because they want to get to the agency. I want to get to that agent. This is the dude who's going to help me get my career started. That's what Mike is in Vegas. Guaranteed. And this dude is going to get you in front of big dudes. They're going to get you in front of the plug. He's going to get you in. You're trying to get into print work as a model. He's going to get you in front of people who can make that happen. Just, women. There'll be the professional women at his events. You're going to do one of his charity events and you're just working the room. And so when it's time to go, Yeah, they're gonna, hey, Mike, where are you going? He's gonna be like, oh, we're going over to so and so. We're gonna go over to Treasure Island. We're gonna go over to Aria. We're gonna go wherever we're going. Yeah, they hitting him up. Where y'all at? Where y'all? Okay, I'm pulling up. And whatever man is surrounded by a bunch of beautiful women, whoever that dude is the man. Other men are like, okay, who is that? I want to talk to him. Right? Who is this dude? Can he bring women to our party? You know, like, yeah, I could bring, if you're that guy. I never did that. I never did that. Like I would get women and bring women with me when I wanted to get into certain events or certain clubs. I knew I had to have, 3 or 4 beautiful women. I would go find them and then invite them to come out with me, and they would come out with me. I would do the work. That's the Code Pro side. People like, see, so you had the Code approach. That was the Code Pro side. But I wasn't talking to these women so I could smash. My primary mission was so I can get into this club, and in doing that will bump up my social rating, let's say, in LA. I only had to do it a handful of times, and then after that, I can come by myself. You know what I mean? Or I can just bring 1 or 2 girls with me. It is what it is. What Michael Surtain was doing, wherever he went, he had 15, 20 beautiful women with him. Yeah, bro, that's going to put you on the top of everybody's list. You can get into anybody, especially Vegas. Especially Vegas, man. They need beautiful women. That's all they want. And if you have the beautiful women, you're walking in. It's hard to beat that game, gentlemen. It's hard to beat that game. Now, if he's a weirdo, if he's like Harvey Weinstein with it and he's doing all kind of creepy things, those women won't be around him. That's part of it. Even Fresh and Fit to say that. Like, you got a guy who's the guy's in the VIP surrounded by 100 beautiful women. Right? There's 50 women outside the VIP trying to get into that guy's section. It's already 100 women in there, but they want to get around that guy. Them dudes right there. That's who they want to be with. They don't want to be around a guy with 40 bottles and no women up there. They'll come up there, get a drink or two, and then they'll leave. They're not going to hang because it's like, how come you can't get women up here? It's just how the game is played. Like, it is what it is. Brother Pitney, a critical step some men overlook is waiting for indicators of interest. Yep. A smile, playing with hair. Yep. Constantly looking back at you. Yep. Etc. Waiting for indicators of interest makes things go smoothly. Yeah. Yeah, that's part of it. And yeah, the guys who do the pickup artistry, man, they just machine gun it, bro. They just machine gun it. They go out there and just machine gun. Just do. That's all it is, machine gun. Me, especially now, I'm a sniper. When I go out there, man, I'm a sniper. One shot, one bag. I got her. That's when I'm looking. I'm checking it out. If you're a machine gunner, you got a crew with you. Y'all just out there putting rounds down range. But a sniper might have, might have a spotter with him. And all they're doing is they're watching everything. They're being very precise with where they put that round. You know what I mean? They're going for the maximum effect. That networking game, I think, allows you to do that. Whereas pickup artistry, that's machine gunning. That's just da. But when you doing your networking thing and when you're worried about the brand, which is you, now you got to sit there, one round at a time, man. You know what I mean? Like, boom, one, send it. There's the target. Check everything. Windage is good. Looking at everything. Distance is cool. Everything checks out. Send it. One round versus 1,000+ rounds, right? So it is what it is. Brother D Mac is in the building. What's good, bro? I'm a little bit confused about these guys. Nowhere in the conversation do they preach hunting quality, not quantity. They're going to get into it. They're going to get into the quality stuff. And Surtain is going to get into his biggest thing is being immersed in an environment that's all stunningly beautiful women and women that you want because you create these environments, right? That's part of his thing. So like the networking game, the social circle game, I'm aware of it, but Michael Surtain is the only person I know that runs it this particular way. And I got to tell you, man, at least from the little bit that I know about it, from what I've seen on YouTube and whatnot, again, I haven't met Brother Mike yet in person. I will. It's just the last couple of times he was in Miami, I couldn't get down there. I haven't been to Vegas yet this year. I'm trying to get out there. Got some shows I need to do out there, as a matter of fact. So it's just a matter of time before I meet him. But I absolutely agree with what he's doing and what he's saying, because the way he sets it up, it gives the guy an opportunity to immerse himself around beautiful women so you can see how they interact amongst each other. Just sitting back, observing, again, like a sniper, you sitting back watching. Most men have no idea how beautiful women interact and what they're thinking. You know, how they see most men. And I ain't even talking about the invisible men. I'm talking about of the men that they see and the stuff that they do. They don't lie to each other in the same way that they lie to us. When you just sitting back, they forget you're there, bro. Like you're just, it's you. It's just one dude, and it might be 15, 25 of them, and they're just talking, right? We're in the suite. They're just talking, or we're setting up in our, event space. And they're just kind of hanging out, sitting there, and you sit there and listen to what they're saying. Listen to how they move, and it'll blow your mind. That information most dudes don't have, and they never will get. And you will never get that as a pickup artist, because you're not around them like that. You're there as a pickup artist. You finally get the one, and then you're trying to get her to the bedroom, right? Most pickup artists are not going to be in situations where they're surrounded by 15 to 20 beautiful women, right? Because pickup artists don't work like that. I didn't. I mean, I'm good at approaching a group, but that wasn't the norm, right? You're not going to get, most dudes aren't used to being around women in groups like that. And the women are talking to each other and competing with each other. Bro, it'll blow your mind.
Ask for is the ball in my hands, right? Just when you do cold approach, all you can ask for is the girl to be in front of you. All I can ask for is the ball in my hands so that I can take the shot. So what happens is repeatedly, because I'm that guy that they want to come to for these to lead these groups and to do all this fun stuff, I get more opportunities, I get more interactions, I get more possessions with the basketball, I get to score more points. And so that's the difference we're talking about. Definitely don't want to bash RSD. I think they've made a huge pivot. I'm not calling out specific pickup. Okay, you can if you want to. But my point is, like, I really don't like to talk bad about people. But the thing is, one of the issues is I have found that pickup overall over the last 15 years has really hurt men in general. And I have a business specifically because of all the men that pickup has really screwed up. And what I teach is what I teach, however, is a way you can still learn those skill sets, but you can learn the skill sets in a way where today I left and I had 5 friends, and tomorrow I've got 10, and the next day I've got 15. And you can do that from a very low level. What you're saying before is you need a foundation in order to get the playmate to hang out with you. You don't. There's ways for you to friend zone women that I can teach very easily, where you friend zone them and you pick specific women. Like, for instance, I have this weird thing where every girl I've dated for the last 10 years has like large fake breasts. So girls that don't have boob jobs, I immediately friend zone. It's very easy for me to friend zone. Or girls that are like married, or girls that are like unavailable, or someone who's dating one of my friends, immediately friend zone them. Those girls are often the ones that assist. I had one of my clients, we were on stage for Deadmau5 the other day. We're on stage for Deadmau5, and I had these 2 girls with us. And I know you're going to say, well, that's super advanced.
No, but I don't know what you're arguing against, because I'm agreeing with you. Like, you can do this. I've done this as well. Like, all my
Marcus, if you were friends with me, hold on, Marcus, if you were friends with me, which is not hard to do, if you were friends with me, I get you on stage with Deadmau5. That's one step. That's not advanced. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the networking part, the access part, then gets you into these unbelievably advantageous situations. And I don't think you need that much game to get laid in I know you don't. That much game to get laid in these situations.
Your students aren't able to get me on stage with Deadmau5, right? We're talking about
Well, actually, some of my students could. Like, I'd say there's probably 20 or 30 of my students that definitely could. But the point I'm trying to make is when we're up there.
They're talking about like Deadmau5. I don't even know what that is. Obviously, it's a big event, probably in Vegas. I don't know what it is. That's not a big thing. You don't have to know what these big things are. Just know that this is going to be a hard thing to get to. If you're buying a ticket, general admission, you're not going to get up on the stage. If especially someplace like Vegas, general admission might be $100, right? So if you're trying to get on stage, bro, it's like, man, come on, 10,000, not 10,000, but depending on how big the event is. But I can see anywhere between $500 and $900 or more, depending on the event, depending on the venue, to get on stage. Or you could be cool with someone like Michael Surtain or one of his dudes, and they can make a phone call and bam, now you're on the stage. And if you're a pickup artist, dude, and they get you on that stage, they get you into that world, Jesus, man, it becomes real easy to holler at women. And they're going to talk about this too. Like, you could be in general admission as a pickup artist and you going through the crowd trying to holler at these women. Every woman you're talking to, for the most part, are trying to get on that stage. They're trying to get into the VIP. Irregardless of what they tell you, that's what they got one eye on that VIP. Now imagine you got on the appropriate colored wristband. She sees that wristband and knows you're VIP, and she knows you can bring her back there. Your game just got that much easier. Now, I mean, of course, she's running game too. You can't just bring back any old body, and I learned that in LA. You just can't bring in any old body. You got to bring in dimes. You got to bring in dimes. All the places I went in LA when I got into the club, I had to have very attractive women with me. If I did not, if I showed up with just average looking women, then I'm waiting in line with everybody else. I came in with above average looking women, young, beautiful women. And I ain't never have to wait. The rope just opens right on up. The people come, they see me pulling up, they come from inside. Don't even have to break stride. Not paying any venue, any cover, nothing. You know, I learned that in LA. So that was all networking. That had nothing to do with the pickup artistry part. Maybe you can argue, well, if you weren't good at the PUA, you wouldn't have got the beautiful women in the first place. Okay, I mean, we can have that conversation. But it was the networking part, which was the most important part of that. You know, I could come in by myself. I chose to come with a bunch of beautiful women, but I could go by myself and I still wouldn't have to wait in line. Now, when I had the women with me, it didn't cost me nothing. Was when I was by myself, probably had to slide somebody $100 just to get me up in there. Right? In some cities, you can't even bribe the door guys. They're going to make you wait no matter what, which sucks. So, man, it's just so much to learn there. Right? It's so much to learn there. But the networking versus the cold approach to pickup artistry, networking is far superior, man. Far, far superior.
All right, sorry, go on.
No, Marcus, it's a little different here. On industry nights in Vegas, if you're a local, you can get on stage. Like if you go out regularly.
Oh, I thought you meant like me and Deadmau5 are hanging out on stage.
No. When I say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, well,
in Vegas,
fine.
we have a DJ booth, and then we have stage tables around it. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I mean. Stage area.
Deadmau5 and me and Deadmau5 are going to hang out.
Yeah. No, Joel probably isn't going to want anything to do with it. But frequently, you'll see in my videos, it's me and my students. We're up on stage at different places, and it's because they bring big groups of women. Anyway, so what happens is
my goal
we're
isn't to get on stage for Bob. Like Bob's goal isn't to get on stage with Deadmau5, right? Like Bob's goal is to have like a girlfriend that he can settle down with. And so someone mentioned like the time investment in chat. I was just reading through. Like I think that's probably the next thing we can probably discuss is like the time investment. Because from the outside, I know even with my lazy social circle game, it's a huge time investment. And I think like to do that for a year, like I'm just wondering, like if Bob's your student, like what do you do?
Yeah.
How long before Bob actually is in like open relationships with women? How is it until Bob's like in like fuck buddies?
Open relationships? I love that. Yeah.
We
require
Bob wants.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we require 4 to 5 hours a week for the first 3-4 weeks. That's generally what we ask in the beginning. The guarantee for us is in 90 days to completely change everything. And then it gets progressively easier from there. So like for me, one of the reasons why I have so many networking coaches, Marcus, and you bring up a great point, is that I can't go anywhere without people recognizing me. We go to I love your chat, Alex. I'm reading your chat. Like there are people I know that I'm telling the truth and I'm really hitting a sore spot because there are people just blatantly lying about me in the chat. It's hilarious. One of the things that I'll do is that this works in Los Angeles.
Everyone, don't worry about it.
Yeah, this works in London. This works in Los Angeles. I'll show you videos of me doing this in London, me doing this in Miami, me doing Los Angeles, me doing this in San Diego, me doing this in San Francisco. It doesn't make any difference what city you do this in. It's really easy to do this. But going back to what I was saying before, with my students, we'll put them in these situations that are like massively advantageous for them, and then they can learn from those. They can learn from being hyper calibrated in those situations. I forgot what the original question was. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if
they're calling us all liars, bro. I'm just reading this chat. Like they're just getting ahead. Dude, they're going after you, Marcus. And like I wanted to fuck you. Fuck you for saying that about Marcus. That is fucking bullshit.
No, whoa. Listen. Don't go on my black pills.
Don't say that shit about Marcus. That's fucked up.
Listen. According to the black pills, I'm tall, good looking. That's why I get girls. Okay, so
yeah, for sure. I know.
Don't badmouth them. I like them here. Okay. They keep telling me how good looking I am. So,
dude, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have Marcus at one of the bikini competitions. And it's gonna be me and Marcus, like a bunch of girls behind us. And it's gonna be, we're gonna sit there. We're gonna send this shit to Alex.
Come to Sydney to some of our sex parties. Okay, that's what you need to do.
So do you know?
So you hear these dudes like they take a break in the action and be like, you know, talking about the haters. Casual Germs in the building. What's good, fam? Gotta love the haters in the chat. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. This Marcus guy, again, I've never seen him, but I'm willing to bet anything he's over 6 feet, bro. He's fit. This dude is always talking about like orgies and like group sex things, whatever. Like he's talking these girls not into, but they're doing these things. And I'm like, bro, this is that metrosexual game. You know, yeah, that's part of his game. And I know a lot of dudes like that, man. The bigger the city, the more these dudes, you know, that type of game works. Because you have women who are out here exploring their sexuality and all that kind of stuff, man. They eat that shit up. Now, if you're a short dude and you're fat, you know what I mean, and you're always sweaty and you don't look good, there's not a woman in there talking about doing some sort of group sex thing with that dude. It's never going to happen. I don't care how good his pickup artistry is, man. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So yeah, man, it has to be tied to that, man. Like the dude, like, you know, I don't know what the chat was saying. I'm gonna go back and watch this again, I guess, and look at the chat. Go back and watch the original and look at the chat. But you know, a lot of dudes out there are so frustrated, man. They're just so frustrated. Like, man, these guys are getting on and I can't get on. It's like, oh, well, you gotta do the work, my friend. Well, it's not fair that I gotta work this hard. It may not be. But if you're trying to get some success, you gotta get it, you gotta get in there and get it done. Casual Germs is like, stuff like this is true and real. It's crazy how dudes would think Sertain and Marcus are lying. Yeah, bro. Because I mean, you gotta understand. And it took me some time to understand this myself. I'll be telling stories about some of the things I've done in my life or whatever, like, you know, be it street stuff as, you know, coming up in the hood, military stuff, right? People's realities are so different. It's they can't truly grasp the reality of someone else, right? You look at someone like me, you see that flag behind me, man, I'm airborne. What does that mean, man? I used to jump out of airplanes into combat situations. That's what we trained for. Think about it. That was my reality for 3 years in the United States Army. Hey, my boy, we would go to bed praying that we'll get orders to be dropped into some combat situation somewhere on planet Earth, bro. That's what paratroopers wanted, man. I wanted a gold star. You know what I mean? A gold star, and like the gold stars they give you in class for spelling everything correctly. No, a gold star in them risers means you had a combat jump. Right? You look at guys from back in World War II, man, they had 2 and 3 gold stars, 2 and 3 combat jumps. Like, wow. You know what I mean? Sam Mary Gillies, you know what I mean? Holland, Nijmegen. Like these guys that have these multiple jumps. Dudes jumped into Panama. I had guys in my unit, man. They had a gold star on their jump wings. They jumped into Panama. It was like, bro, that's it. That's the epitome. But that was our reality. Most people can't grasp that. So we do that to, you know, talking about this dating thing. The average dude, he's not going to be able to grasp how women really act with dudes that they like. The average dude can't fathom having a threesome. Like they can't believe, like, nah, her. And it's like, well, it's a certain type of woman, bro. You'd be surprised. And I'm not throwing shade at ladies. I'm not. Women can do what they want to do. Men can do what they want to do. But there are guys out there who just refuse to believe that women move like that. And then they begin to see it. And it blows their mind. So that networking thing that Brother Michael does, you do that correctly, you get to hear women tell the stories of the dudes that they smashed the day before. Like, oh yeah, I met that guy. Yeah, I took him home. We hooked up. I mean, it was whatever. I mean, I think he'll call me, but I don't know if I'll see him. I mean, or they're like, yeah, he called me. We're supposed to get lunch, but I don't know. And then, you know, the guy will be sitting there thinking, like, I saw dude wasn't that special. Or I saw dude, but I thought she would never in her lifetime. She told me yesterday that she never had a one-night stand. And then all of a sudden he hears about a one-night stand she had last night. And then he starts thinking like that was She didn't say that was her first time. There's no shame. She's not sitting there like, oh my God, I think I made a mistake. She ain't worried about. This is what she does. I mean, it is what it is, bro. I've had women. I mean, I bumped into one woman. She wasn't from America. We met in America. She wasn't from America. She came from a religious background that you would think ain't no way in the hell she'll be trying to holler at the black guy, especially a black dude from Cincinnati, especially just that night that they met. Like, she come on over to the crib. But that's what she did. And her family will never know. Never, ever, ever know. And it wasn't just a one-nighter. You know what I'm saying? I was over there for a good 2-3 months before it was finally over. But she simply wanted to have the physical. That was it. She knew it wasn't going anywhere. She was like, look, I'm going to have my fun. I'm over here in America doing my thing. It is what it is. And she went, you know, when she got back to her life, she's probably married, got a bunch of kids, and, you know, really into her faith. Right? I'm not even going to say what type of religion it is. I'm just going to let you know, bro, that I was there, and I'm like, I can't believe this is going down. You feel me? Couldn't believe it. When men begin to see this, when guys go from being completely invisible, not having any intimacy with women, barely any contact with women, and then they get with someone like Surtain, and then within 90 days, they're like, damn, I'm smashing. Not just any old body. I ain't messing with like 3s and 4s. I'm smashing 8s, 9s, couple 10s, and I'm cool with them. No drama. I done had a threesome. I got other girls asking for threesomes. I'm to the point now where I'm like, hold on, chill out. I'm telling beautiful women, no, I'm not answering text messages. I'm not answering their phone calls. Not because I'm playing a game, but because I'm too busy. I don't feel like talking to them. These guys, they're like, wow. Right? And then it's their friends are the ones hating in the chat. It's their friends talking all this kind of crazy stuff because they don't want to believe it. It's too much for them. It just does not compute. I'm trying to tell you, man. It's just one of those things, man. It's one of those things. Brother Casual Jones, like, yeah, Marine Corps infantry opened my eyes to many worlds outside of the military. Facts. Appreciate that, Brother Michael. Shout out to me. Absolutely. Marine Corps infantry, man. Oh, I got to play a sound bite.
Pray! This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My rifle is my best friend.
Marines mean that. That's how Marines pray. But it's just, it opens your eyes to the way the world works. It opens your eyes to all sorts of stuff, man. If you pay attention to what's going on around you. You know, so sitting here having this conversation about, you know, these two types of game, you need to be proficient in both. You really do. Both will help you, but in my opinion, the networking game is far superior. You'll go further. You won't have to work as hard to get the results, especially if your results really are just to smash, which most dudes, they just want to smash up front. Most dudes just want to smash. And then after that, they start to, okay, when they see it is easier for certain men to get sexual access, there are dudes out there who have to say no to 10s. So I keep telling these guys, man, oh, you a player? You ever say no to a dime? Right? If Nina the Pineapple was in front of you right now talking about you can have it, could you say no? Keep it 100. And they're like, nah, man, who will say no to that? Plenty of people. There are dudes out there that will say no. If Bianca, I think Bianca, again, another, she was one of my favorite Fresh and Fit females at the time. Fresh and Fit girls. And Bianca's a registered nurse who became an influencer, slant model, slant, whatever she's doing now. Just like Bianca something 7 on Instagram. I don't have my phone next to me, so I can't see it. Latina, man, but she is beautiful, blonde, like, man, look, little shorty. I'm a butt man. Oh my gosh, she has probably the best butt I've seen ever. Nina Pineapple has an amazing body, but she is so petite. Bianca is not. And I bumped into Bianca in real life at the Coconut Grove Art Festival some years back, like 2 or 3 years ago. And again, that wasn't cold approaching. That was networking. Hey, I've seen you on Fresh and Fit. She's like, Bianca, like, that's right, Bianca. How you doing? Gave me a hug and everything. Again, I didn't think to take a picture because I'm an old school dude. We don't take pictures where I'm from. We ain't do that. You know, that's me. Like, damn, I gotta remember to take pictures. But very, very nice. And she was with three or four nice women. Like, they were fine. I don't know how personality wise that they were nice, but they sat back and let her do her thing. They realized that she was doing her thing, so they stayed out of the way. I had my cousin with me. He knew off the rip like these girls was nah, beautiful women, but he's like, nah, he wouldn't even try to holler at them. But he knew that Bianca was like, hey, and it was funny later on. I think it was maybe a day later, maybe a week later, something like that. She was on Fresh and Fit with DJ Academic, sitting right next to Act. And Act was all, got money and this and that, got clout. He's got this beautiful woman sitting next to him. I sent in a super chat, like I normally do, supporting my fam. Like, I'm just supporting, like, hey, Bianca, we met at the Coconut Grove art thing, and she just lit up. She was like, yes, oh, hey, I remember. Lit up, bro. She lit up. That was social game, social circle, bro. She remembered me. Oh, yes, the dude that stopped me about Fresh and Fit. That was a cool guy. The encounter was brief. You know what I mean? But she remembered me. She lit up. And then Myron the Fresh sitting right there, like, yeah, that's our man. That's DL Saint. Now he a real one. I was plugged in ever since. Plugged all the way in. She sees me. She's like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? I don't bump into her. I've only bumped into her that one time, man. I don't see her moving around Miami, which surprises me. I'm at a lot of events. I figured I'd see her at some point. I don't see her that much, man. Like, so she's doing her thing, but and I'm with brother Casual Jones. Like, I favor Bianca over Pineapple, but both are beautiful. Yeah. But back to my point, a real G will say no. If it came down to it, like, they could say no. A real G can turn down a woman that's that beautiful, either Bianca or Nina, to sex. He will say no to sex. What percentage of men can do that, bro? Single digit. In my opinion, single digits. Brother Casual Journey, like, facts deal to me. Taking pics are for women. Yeah. The auntie types. Bro, look. Now that I have this platform and I do what I do, the way social media is and the way that social media's influence on entertainment is so massive. I got to take pictures now. And I'm so bad at taking pictures. It was Tuesday. I was taking a picture with Glow. I took a couple pictures with Glow and I went to look at him recently, man. My hand was shaking. I'm like, my shoulder's messed up. I'm sitting there like this, trying to take a picture of her with one arm. And, she's like right there. We're smiling and everything. The pictures are all blurry, man. I'm like, God, dog, I'm horrible at this. So, don't worry. I'll get it fixed. But for what I do, I got to take pictures. It goes against, everything that I stood for growing up. It just goes against the way we move. But times change, man. Technology changing, and doing this, I need those pictures. Like now when I go see Myron and Fresh, I'm always taking pictures. When if I see Michael Sertan, I'm taking pictures. I remember when what is it? Sotomayor? What's his first name? Brother Sotomayor. I forget. Is it Tommy Sotomayor? Tommy Sotomayor was in studio with Myron and Fresh, and I was there. We wound up taking pictures. In fact, I think it was Big Mo that was taking the pictures. It was Big Mo or Chris or somebody was taking the pictures. And they were like, get in there, son, get in there, Unc. So we took the pictures. But damn, was Mo there? I don't know if Mo was there yet. I don't know. Well, anyway, I got the pictures. And when Tate was there, I didn't think to take pictures. We're sitting there chopping it up with Tate, just talking, and like should have taken pictures, and I didn't. You know what I mean? So now it's like, of course, when I bump into folks, I don't care if it's Sneeko, Donovan Sharp, you know what I mean, Sauce, like Saucecast or PBD, whoever I bump into, I'm taking pictures. And it's almost expected. And when people bump into me, like, hey man, you're DL Saint. Can we get a picture? Sure. Yes. Get in here and get a picture. It is what it is. Thank you, brother Lou. Tommy Sotomayor. You know what I mean? I got a picture of him in the phone somewhere. You know what I mean? Apparently Tommy's in some sort of trouble in Atlanta. Myron was talking about it because he's going to be back on the podcast at some point, but I guess he's having some issues he got to clear up in Georgia. I'm thinking Atlanta. It is what it is. Brother D Mac, there are some things you can't teach personality, likability, the essential arts of conversation, and confidence of a higher class woman seeks out these skills. Yeah, a confident. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. You're right. You can't teach those skills, but you can teach about those skills. Right? You can coach guys up like, hey man, I can't teach you to dribble like Allen Iverson, bro. I can't teach you, you know what I mean, how to play the game of basketball like someone like Michael Jordan, but I could teach you the game of basketball. I could teach you how to dribble. I could teach you the rules. And then you're going to have to figure the rest out on your own. But you're right, though, man. There's certain intangibles, man, that you just can't teach it, man. You just can't. I can't teach you how to go out there and play the position of linebacker like Ray Lewis. You can't teach that. You know what I mean? You can't teach that. But I can teach you the responsibilities of a linebacker. I can teach you how to read the quarterback. I can teach you how to read defenses. You know what I mean? I can teach you all this other kind of stuff. But to actually go out there and make it happen, nah, you're absolutely right. Like I said, brother, losing the building was good, fam. You're absolutely right, man. Can't teach those skills. Brother Casual Germs. Yeah, times have changed. We got to adapt and overcome. Take them photos and share your nose hair, folks. And shave your nose hair, folks. Yeah, bro. That's another thing, too, man. I be getting they be putting the things up there, the wax things, and yanking it out. Woo. Woo. Like, woo. It's kind of like torture, bro. I be almost ready to give up state secrets, man. But anyway, let's get back to the video.
Oh, you know, all the girls in Swimsuit USA, like half of them are from Australia. Have you seen this? Like of the top 10, half of them are Australian. It's crazy.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
You need to find some, honestly, Ukrainian and Polish. That's
for sure.
Get them over.
Yes. Those Ukrainian, they're homeless. The Ukrainian girls. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to say that. I'm not supposed to say that. I'm sorry.
You're good, man. You can say whatever on my channel.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Marcus.
You distracted me with Ukrainian women. I forget what I was about to say. No, Bob. Yeah, this is what we're saying. So if on Bob, right, like he's making 6 female friends, right? He's getting them invited to other parties. He's going to those parties with them. At what point is Bob hosting his own parties? Fucking bitches.
Yeah. Bob, I mean, usually like 30 to 60. Okay, so the couple things I need to make this absolutely clear. If you come on the call, I will describe this in detail. I'm not going on camera and saying he's guaranteed to fuck bitches at this point. Yeah, I don't teach a dating course. And Alex, because Alex has a previous friend that lives in Brazil who lies about that shit, and I don't do that. So we're not ever going to talk about that. What we can say though.
Yeah, I'm just worried. I'm just curious, like the time investment. Like, is Bob trying to set up a party every single week? Is this something he's got his VA doing, and he goes to a party once a month, and he's only closing a girl there? If he closes a girl, like I'm wondering about the amount of time investment, because it feels like
so great.
Especially in the beginning, you're investing a lot of time for something you might not continue if you're not in this like industry.
Yeah. So it's to be fair, the majority of people in my course are U.S. military officers. I have a whole lot of guys who are like digital nomads. Digital nomads probably the number one thing that I have in my course. A lot of doctors, accountants, stuff like that. Very few club promoters in my course. I do have like 4 or 5 of them that are in that, and obviously this course helps them out a lot. But no, going back to saying before, we require about 4 or 5 hours a week. It's generally what it is. And by the way, that includes the audiobooks. There's a 30-book book list that we require everyone to listen to in the course. And the course is not all about picking up women. This is not a dating course. This is about how to build a network to fix your entire life. We also, this is a really, really important distinction. I require guys to bring girls to other people's events before they're allowed to throw their own events. Let me say that one more time. It's really confusing for a lot of guys because they jump in my course and I give them this blueprint on throwing a photo shoot and getting like 15 girls to show up. And I'm like, stop doing that. That is not what I'm telling you to do. What you need to do is the skill set is being able to get large groups of girls to go with you, to acquiesce and to show compliance in those situations. And when you get that, you just having women showing you compliance generates attraction with other women. What you talking about before, which causes women to have that ick feeling, is when you supplicate or you don't enforce your boundaries or your voice inflection changes. Like you're talking to your buddy, oh, what up, bro? And you go talk to the girls and you're like, hey guys, you guys want to go get a drink with me? None of that. That is one of the key points we talk about in our program. You are instead of being a leader of men, you are a leader of women. And you should see me like with the bikini competitions. I'm telling girls, line the fuck up here. This is what we're doing. We straighten all the stuff up. And it's funny because if you've ever been on Fresh and Fit, if you ever watch after the show, after Myron has been like mean to the girls the entire show, you know what fucking happens? 2 or 3 of the girls like want to go home with I swear to God, every single time. It's crazy. I watch.
He ain't lying about that last little bit right there. Especially with Myron, like women, they say all these nasty things about Myron, and then because I'm not in Miami every weekend or anything like that, but they'll say some things. Let's say in January, man, Myron this and that. I get down there in May, right, and I see her on set bringing waters and cleaning up and doing whatever, which I know what that means. Like if you're like, there's a couple exceptions, but for the most part, if you're just one of the girls kind of hanging out and cleaning up, and yeah, you smashing. Like I know what that means. So I'm sitting there and they'll look at me and I'll act like I don't recognize them. You know what I mean? I don't want to put them on I don't want to make things rough for Myron. I don't want Myron to have to kick out some chick. You know what I mean? But in my mind, I'm like, this is the same woman who was talking mad craziness. Mad craziness. And here she is, happy as she can be, man. Snug as a bug in a rug. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. When it comes to what Brother Mike is saying, you putting these events together, you're in charge. For whatever reason, like, women do like men who are in charge, especially if those dudes, got their stuff together, if they're attractive and all this other kind of stuff, bro. I do a lot of political work. I like to work with, I'm a registered Republican, but it's the first time in my adult life I've ever been a registered Republican. I've been a registered Democrat for the most of my adult life, but the older I get, the more conservative I do become. When I say Republican, I'm not a Trumper. Anyone who follows me, y'all know I don't rock with dude at all. You know what I mean? Not even close. But I do a lot of events. I go to a lot of events. And I'm here to tell you, when you are in charge of stuff, when the people with clipboards come talk to you to get their marching orders and they go off to do whatever, and there are women watching, man, that's a turn on, bro. I can't tell you how many times after we've done some sort of event, be it, something nonpartisan or maybe a fundraising event or whatever, and we're done. When it's all said and done, and we're like having drinks or whatever after, man, all the women come up to me. They already know my name. They already know stuff about me. They've already done their research. Bro, they're gunning. They're gunning. And the biggest thing is like, you're in charge. You're in command. They like that leadership, man. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is, especially if you're a competent leader. If you know what you're doing and everyone is hollering your name, like if you're the guy who puts out the fires, like you're the go-to dude. If you're that guy, man, oh man, they trying to holler at you, bro. And they are ready to get with you, man. Ready to get with you. So, and that's kind of what Brother Mike was trying to say, like when he's doing these things, and and Marcus is like, well, what kind of time commitment before these dudes start smashing chicks? Right? Because pickup artists are worried about what? Smashing. That's what they want to do. Nothing wrong with that. Pickup artists want to smash. I ain't mad. Most men want sexual access. I get it. He's like, what's the time investment on this, man? What's the return on investment on this, right? And Brother Michael keeps saying, man, what is like 4 months, 3 or 4 months is what he's saying. That's the program. That's how they run it. And within that time, you'll be able to blah, blah, blah. I would say the amount of time invested to, per smash, let's say, is probably the same as the amount of time you would invest in Code Approach. Probably the same. The only thing that would change is the caliber of woman that you're able to smash. That kind of goes back to what D-Mac was talking about. Brother D-Mac was like, what type of, what type of women are you getting? You know what I mean? Like what's going on here? The networking techniques, I think, is going to get you a higher caliber woman because of the setup and what goes into that versus Code Approach. Code Approach, you just running sheer numbers. And again, the women you approach, they're going to have their shields up, bro. You're just out in the bar, out in the lounges, you out and about, wherever. Even if you're in a grocery store, she's going to have her shields up to an extent. But if you're at an event, be it a political event or one of these bikini events or a comedy event, right? If you're at a rap party for, like a TV show or a movie, if you're at these type of events, their shields aren't necessarily up. They're in an environment where they're cool with talking to people because it's a networking thing. They're not, you know what I mean? It's not a club. It's not a speed dating or whatever kind of thing. So the average woman you're going to talk to is going to want to holler at you. So I would say that the amount of time invested in getting to the smash, I think is fairly close, plus or minus what, 10 hours or something like that. If I had to make up some numbers, but I think the quality of women that you're going to bag through the networking side versus the code approach side, I think on average, you're going to get finer women on the networking side. Now, if you're a stud, bro, your body's together and everything, you got money and all that. Yeah. And you have access to the higher tier type venues and events, then yeah, you're going to smash tighter women, period. You're going to smash tighter women. Right. But on a balance of probabilities, I would say that the amount of time invested to get to have sex with a woman is the same via code approach or networking game. But I think the networking game, especially in the way that brother Michael Surtain is doing this, the networking game is going to yield a higher caliber of woman. That's my take on it.
Watch this. And it's because you can show alpha qualities without directly hitting on women. And you can do so when you're in groups of large women. That's what you're able to do. So the answer to your question, 90 days. 90 days is the most.
If you told Bob to
90 days.
do that, he's going to tell some girl she's a slut for having a high leg
Oh yeah,
count.
well we don't do
And
that. Yeah.
Mar-
So there's
Myron's
no
probably getting
slut.
laid,
There's no
but Bob is,
denigration.
no, but my point is like that Myron does it in somewhat of an articulate way, even though I think like most of what he says is absolute bullshit. But I think like when he does it, it does come across as very alpha and dominant. If I tell Bob to do something like that and he tries to replicate him, it's gonna look really bad.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. That's
It'll
a
go
bad
for-
example. I think what I mean more is he stands his ground and he does not like again. What I say is treat them all the same, make them talk about themselves. So treat them all the same. You guys, I'm sorry, this is the third podcast I've done today. I'm getting the caffeine crash.
It's
The,
flat for him,
well,
man, so
yeah,
don't
yeah,
worry,
for
I
sure.
feel.
So what I mean by that is for Bob, when you and Marcus, I have no doubt whatsoever. I introduced you to the hottest girl in the world. Marcus has
Yeah,
the
this is
same
me, this is
tonality.
me.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm killing
Marcus,
it, okay?
Marcus has the
Sorry.
same tonality. Marcus has the same voice inflection. Marcus has the same body language as if he's talking to me. Marcus doesn't change at all. Marcus is
Well,
bulletproof.
I'd be a
Marcus
bit
is
more
super hot
sexual
girl.
with the girls, probably. No offense, you're a good-looking guy.
Okay.
but-
Well, so maybe. But my point is, for me, is it wouldn't make you supplicate because a girl showed up. And for me, when I say supplicate, is there's autonomic nerve. Your autonomic nervous system will fire when you're in a high stress situation. So, for instance, sweaty palms, cracking of the voice, what's it called? Dilated pupils. All these things happen. Elevated heart rate. Those things happen whenever you're in a high stress situation. And those things don't happen with my guys because we immerse them around women, which we're going back to the original point, which is I think that men being hyper comfortable around attractive women allows them the leniency and the leeway to be able to get better and better and better with women. But as far as making mistakes, no one calls anybody a bitch or a hoe. There's no barking at women or laying down in the street or any of that shit in my program. We don't do that. I have so
You guys
many
don't lay
things
down
that
in the
I-
street?
That part right there is extremely important, gentlemen. Y'all out there, that part right there is extremely important. And therein is the magic of the social circle and the networking game versus code approach. If you bring me into a room full of dimes, the way I'm going to act, the way I'm going to communicate with these women is the same way I was communicating with you. My voice is the same as whatever. I'm not distracted by their beauty. I'm not. I'm used to being around beautiful women. Been around beautiful women my whole life. I choose to be around beautiful women. So it doesn't bug me, right? It's not a big thing for me. I'm not going to go crazy. Now, there are dudes out there that, man, they just, the machine gunners, right? I was talking about earlier. You got the machine gunners are out here and they just machine gun. You put them in a room full of beautiful women and they're going to machine gun. You see them changing. Like, they're like, bro, I'm never going to be in this situation again. Or this is a situation that's so rare to me. I'm going to take 100%. I'm going to take 100%. What word am I looking for? Action in this. Like, I gotta I got to utilize this to the fullest of my extent. I got to take, you know, I got to access this 100% right now because I might not see this again for 10 years or something like that, right? The, what's the name of the bro? Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Go back and watch the early Fresh and Fits. I'm talking about before 100,000 subscribers. Shit, probably before like 50,000, before 50,000. He used to have Hotep Jesus on there all the time. Watch Hotep Jesus when he's talking a one-on-one conversation with Myron and Fresh, and they're talking about whatever they're talking about, right? Very thorough, very in-depth conversation. And then watch Hotep Jesus when he's talking, when there's women on the panel. And watch how easily distracted he is, putting his arm around the girls, trying to get into their ears, you know what I mean? Blase, blase, holla, holla, holla. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The dudes who run the networking game, like Myron and Fresh, they are constantly surrounded by beautiful women. Michael Certain, constantly surrounded by beautiful women. Even now, Rollo Tomasi, constantly surrounded by beautiful women. And it doesn't bother them at all. They're not jumping out there, see, oh, let me get that for you. Hey, baby, oh my God. Hey, they're not trying to holler, none of that. That's the biggest thing with the social networking thing. These machine gun guys, they see a room full of beautiful women, they start machine gunning. Da, 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 da. And that's why Michael's like, they get put out of parties, get put out the club, asked to leave. You want to be a sniper. You want to sit back, blend in, right? You want to scan the entire environment and choose your targets appropriately, right? That's it. You can sit, you can flank me with two of the most beautiful women in the world. Everybody who watches my platform know I got my, what they call it, your celebrity crush. My quote unquote celebrity crush is Logan Brownie. I tell a story all the time. I was just telling the story on I Am the Single Ones podcast a couple days ago, bro, about the day I met Logan Brownie and da. If we're having this conversation in real life and I'm speaking to a group of people and Logan Brownie came and walk up and put her arm around mine, I would just look at her and say, hello, Logan, and continue with the conversation. It would not distract me. It would not distract me. I would continue doing what I'm doing. I could talk to her when I'm done. And if she's not there when I'm done, oh well. Because there are just as many women as fine as Logan Brownie. It might not be her. That's where you want to be. And that's why that networking game is so strong. That's what Michael Certain has done with his MOA mentoring.com thing. He are taking these dudes who are not accustomed to being around beautiful women, and he has immersed them in an environment full of beautiful women. So he gets to see what really goes on. That guy now sees that there's no difference between that 10 and that 3 other than the physical, right? There's no real difference. So the way I talk to that 3 is the same way I talk to that 10. And when I go out and I coach guys, I tell them, like, man, go over and talk to Shorty. Oh, I'm not even attracted to her. That's why you need to go over there and talk shit to her right now. Because you don't care. Go over there and just say something, compliment something, man. Come on back over here. Okay, no problem. I'll be right back. They go over there, say what they got to say, and they come right back. And it's like, bro, I'll make you do these things. So when you go talk to your beautiful woman and I start asking you, well, why is it you took so long over there with that cute girl? I told you to go over there and do the same thing with the ugly girl. Well, you know, the ugly girl's ugly. I really wasn't trying. I wasn't trying to get at her like that. Well, that's the mindset you need to talk to these cute women, man. Because women, man, they know when you thirsty. All these dudes be walking around talking about, I ain't thirsty. Like, yes, you are, bro. Hotep Jesus, man. Shout out to you, bro. Nothing but respect. But, man, you thirsty, homie. You thirsty. I can never take Hotep Jesus into an event with me. And I know it's going to be a bunch of beautiful women there. That's lightweight embarrassing. Like, bro, he ain't going to be able to calm down. I can't have that. I can't have that. I don't care how much clout you got. I can't have that. I need you to be calm, bro. And if he's with me doing whatever he's doing, they're going to be looking at me as like, this is your guy, man. Come get your man. Come get your people, right? And that's the difference between the cold approach stuff, man. The fact that I can approach anybody I want to approach anytime I want to approach them, that's great. And that's a skill that I'm glad I have. But that networking, bro, I'm here to tell you that networking is the end all to be all, bro. when you immerse yourself around beautiful women and it does not bother you, man. Think about that. The story I told you with Bianca. That is, man, she is an extraordinarily beautiful woman. All bullshit aside. And the type of woman that I'm into, she has no upgrades. She works out constantly. She's very smart. She's a registered nurse. You know what I mean? She's beautiful. She wears a lot of makeup in some of her pictures, but for the most part, man, she barely has on any makeup when she's walking around. Like she has, man, I'm an ass dude, man. She has one of the best butts I've ever seen in my life. Right? She's fun. She's perky. She's always laughing. Bro, you think she would have stopped to talk to me if I was a thirsty dude? Women can spot a thirsty dude 100 miles away, and they will avoid you like the plague, bro. They know when you thirsty, bro. They know it. And if you were thirsty, kind of weirdo type vibes, man, she would have kept going. Hi, bye, gotta go. Nice meeting you. Mwah. She wouldn't have broke stride, man. She'd have kept going. But she sat there and stopped, man, because we regular dudes, two black dudes at an art festival. She wanted to see what was up. We weren't thugs. Man, what's up with these two gentlemen? I wasn't even dressed. We just wearing shorts or whatever, just everyday whatever stuff, man. We weren't even wearing shorts. I think I had on a Fresh and Fit t-shirt. Right? If I'm not mistaken, I think I was wearing the I Feel Like t-shirt. I think I was wearing that one. So it is what it is. Brother Pitt is like, yeah, man, Brother Pitt and machine gunners are out here ruining things for everyone. Hey, bro, it is what it is. Also note, the 9s and 10s are paying attention to how you treat the 2s and 3s. That's a fact. The 9s and 10s are watching everything. Women are social creatures. They're watching every move you make. They're looking at everything you have on. That's why accessories are so important. That's why you got to be aware of stuff, man. They're looking at how you were put together. They might not necessarily recognize the watch you're wearing, but they know it looks nice with what you got on. It matches. Oh, that's a good watch. They might not recognize the watch, but they recognize them shoes you're wearing. Like dude got on Louis Vuittons. Like dude wearing red bottoms. So they're gonna, I don't know what that watch is, but I bet you it's a nice one. Now they're cool. They're like, all right, I look the rest of his outfit he's put together. He's groomed properly, whatever. Yeah, they check in like, okay, he's not all gaudy. Some women like the dudes with the big chains and all that. Some women go after that. You know what I mean? The women I go after, they don't care for that. You know what I mean? So, but they are social creatures. They are socially in tune. And this is one of the biggest things you have to become to be successful. Again, networking game forces you to be socially aware. Whereas, you know, pickup artistry, yeah, you just got to keep going after them, bro. It's just numbers. You just got to just keep running the numbers. And there's nothing wrong with it. You know, if for every 100 women you talk to, you might smash one. All right, now you know what time it is. Right? Just do the math. Do the math, man. You got a 1% closure rate, bro. Do the math, which is fine. 1% is better than 0%.
We don't lay down in the street. It doesn't work out very well. We don't.
Yeah,
I have definitely planked on a DJ booth before. I've done that before. Yeah, Diplo looked at me crazy, but yeah.
I mean, we.
All right, so that's the end of that one. That was only 20 minutes, and it took forever for me to get that one out there for you guys. But hey, bro, there's one more I wanted to run by y'all. And since I'm up, and I have because my shoulder's been messed up, guys, I've been staying up late, sleeping on my sofa so I don't roll over and damage my shoulder anymore. Last night I didn't go to bed until 5. I mean, it is what it is. So I definitely have to my bad, I'm looking at something here. So I'm gonna be up. I mean, my batteries are charged. I mean, I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna you know, I gotta get myself out of this, you know, staying up all night, late thing, because it's gonna mess me up if I don't. Michael Sertain has something here about see if I can find it. And it was Marcus saying something about Myron Gaines. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is right here. And these two have been going back and forth, Brother Michael and Marcus here. So this was just a heated debate on Myron Gaines and his hate for women. A lot of people say that Myron Gaines hates women. Yeah, nah, bro, that's not the case. I can tell you that right now, man. Myron Gaines does not hate women. And most women don't hate him. Because they, boy, every time I see him, man, he's hollering to somebody different, bro. Just letting you know. The guy runs his game his way. I gotta respect him for that. And he has dimes, bro. Dimes, man. Like I'm like really impressed with the caliber of woman that he's pulling right now, bro. Like really impressed. Like, damn, bro, where'd you find her? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, all right, Uncle Saint approves. So let's get into this, y'all. Let's check this out real quick.
How many girls as a percentage? This is my question then. Like, how many girls as a percentage that would tell me or you, or let's say like the average guy, hey, I don't have sex on the first date. Do you think are lying about it and would fuck like an attractive guy at the club on the first date? Because I don't think it's that high. It's not all of them at all. I'd say it's like 5%.
No, if they're over 30, I think it's a high percent of them that wouldn't fuck on the first date because they're trying to procure resources. But Marcus,
but this is different. These are girls looking for a relationship. So that's like, so these would be as a description. I agree with this. As a description, these would be the girls that would say, okay, I'm 30, I'm looking for marriage, right?
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I've fucked a lot of these girls where they tell me I'm looking for marriage, and I'll say, okay, look, I'm not, but we can just have fun sex for one night if you want, right? They'll be like, yeah, sure. And then they'll go on and look for marriage somewhere else.
I think we're getting a bit off topic here.
Oh, sorry.
Let's
Sorry,
say
bro.
let's save this for another debate. Okay, I know we
I
got
like chatting with Michael. I'm sorry, boys.
everyone here.
Let me just say one thing before, Marcus. You've also talked to a woman who's told you before. I know you have. I don't sleep with guys on the first date and slept with you on the first date. I know that's happened to you before. That's happened to me.
Yeah, but
over
the
50
reason
times.
the reason is not because I'm, let's say, more attractive, even though I am, but I'm saying it's because I deal with those concerns that she has, which some concerns are going to be, I'm looking for marriage, and I'll just be clear and honest with her. All the other concern is I've been hurt before. And then the way I deal with it is like, look, I can have sex anytime I want. Like this is not a big deal for me. If we're going to have sex, it's because I want to see you again. I'm not going to just have sex and ditch you, right?
Yeah.
That's not what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So listening to what he's saying right here, right? Again, this goes into that whole metrosexual, I'm in touch with my feminine side game that this dude Marcus uses. Right? It is what it is. If a woman has sex with you on the first night, it's because she wanted to, or the first day or whatever. She smashes because she wanted to. That's it. Period. There's nothing you did that made her do it. There's no game that you were able to drop. There are no words that you could say to make a woman who doesn't want to sleep with you on the first night, or ever for that matter, sleep with you. Period. Period. Game has nothing to do with it. Right? I tell dudes all the time, it's about you keeping your foot out your mouth. If she wants you, what's going to happen. All you got to do is give her the opportunity. That's it. This Marcus guy is saying, well, you know, they'll say these things, but I'll just tell them like, well, I can have sex anytime I want. Okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. I believe he's telling the truth. He can get it whenever he wants to get it, right? So that puts him firmly in the top 1% of men. Because the vast majority of men can't get it when they want. Most of the top tier dudes can't get it when they want. But he has the ability to say no to an extent. He's basically saying, all right, cool, we ain't gotta smash. All right, whatever. I'm going about my business. Whereas other dudes are like, please, baby, 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 please, anything. What do you need? They just do anything to try to get it. So the fact that he's like, well, it's cool. She's all, back on her heels. Oh, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool if you don't want to do it. It's fine. I mean, he's basically saying I smash all the time. It is what it is. And he winds up smashing her anyway. Why? Because that's what she wanted to do. She's getting pegged as a playboy regardless. But he's hitting her with those female vibes. He's hitting her with the metrosexualness. And she's just kind of like, all right, cool. All right, he ain't gonna run out here and tell his friends that I smashed on the first date. He ain't gonna, ghost me right away or whatever. He feeds that ego, whatever. He's telling her what she needs to hear. When, whether he's telling the truth or lying, it doesn't matter. Tell a woman what she wants to hear, but it's going to help your situation. Right? He's saying the right things. Right? What Brother Mike is saying is like, come on, bro. You know, them women out there, they gonna smash you, man, because they want to smash you, and they're telling certain dudes that they ain't gonna smash that dude over there because he's a nice guy. She ain't gonna smash him. She's gonna make him wait 90 days. Meanwhile, she's smashing these bad boys all day long. Whenever she gets ready, she smashes a bad boy. So it's like two different arguments, and I don't know how they're gonna dovetail this into Fresh and Fit, into Myron. But Brother Casual German is like, yeah, most dudes, holla, 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 exactly.
Once the girl believes that and I'm not too pushy with it, she's like, okay, I'm not going to get hurt. Let's go for it. Sure, there might be like some fucking whores out there that are just being like, I don't have sex on the first date. But I think it's like a really small percentage. And so like my point with this is that I feel like some of these messages are misconstrued and I don't think they're actively corrected. I think there's a lot of women hate out there that could be sold if more guys would just come out and be like, look, this isn't the case, okay? You don't have to like go down this whole of thing. Every girl's lying to me. Every girl's just looking for a better guy. I think we can all do a better job of like putting a message out there that women are amazing. Some of them are shit, but most women are amazing. And like we can co-inhabit and have great relationships, which I know you believe in. I just think there's majority of the red pill space. I'd say like literally 95% that is just spreading an awful message that is like not good for men or women at all.
So I would look up Rollo's his messages on Red Pill Rage, where he talks about, and by the way, this is how he ends his book. He talks about this thing. You're going to learn things that are going to make you upset. And when you do so, at first, you're going to feel like kind of disappointed. And then maybe you're going to feel some anger. But it's important to understand that women and men are better together. Now, here's the thing, Marcus. If you were to go look at that message when I think it's in one of his forum posts, it gets very few views compared to I don't wait for sex. It's just what happens is there's red meat and then there's the vegetables. And what you're talking about is we love women. Women are great. Men and women are better together. Those are the vegetables. A lot of people don't want to consume them. The red meat is the fucking calling women 304s. And I've been the #1 proponent of this and had discussions with Myron and Fresh. By the way, here's the other thing. I go on that show because the discussion is happening there. And I want I heard a lot of people be like, well, I would never go on their show. And to me, I'm like, I will go on people's shows that I disagree with all the time because of the fact that I want my voice to be in the discussion, regardless of what the discussion is. And so, you know, I think it's healthier for me to be there than it's Jesus Christ eating with the fucking tax collectors and the prostitutes. I would rather be there around people that I don't fully agree with because at least the voice gets heard, as opposed to what I hear a lot of other people do. And I'm not saying you guys do this, but a lot of other people do is they'll be like, well, I won't go on that show because I don't agree with everything they say. I specifically go places where I don't agree with what they say.
No, yeah, I appreciate.
Yeah. And, you know, these conversations are being had, like we said earlier. Guys are beginning to realize that a lot of women be capping, bro. I mean, there are times, I can't tell you how many times you get with a woman, it's her first time, you know what I mean? Like it's a one nighter or whatever, or it's the first, y'all just met and she wants to smash. She's going to say something like, I've never done this before, whatever. I've never believed any of it. It doesn't really matter to me, but she'll say something like, well, you know, I've never done anything like this before. Okay. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I don't believe that. I don't care. I mean, it is what it is, but come on, shorty, whatever. And a lot of people realize this stuff. You know, a lot of guys are coming up believing that women are sugar and spice and everything nice. And women are like, you know, regal and royal. Not all of them, bro. And you got to understand, man, women are human like everyone else, man. They do what they want to do when they want to do it. It is what it is. I like the fact that Brother Michael was like, yeah, man, I want to get into those conversations, even if I don't agree with everything that the other people are saying. I want my voice to be heard. I feel him on that. I feel him on that, man. Like it's just one of those things, bro. Women keep saying these things like, oh, I've never done this before. Whenever a woman says that, then I pretty much know, like, yeah, she did it. Sometimes you might get a woman, and years later she might, hey, you remember that first time we hooked up? Like, yeah, you were the first guy I ever hooked up with like that. Like, I just met him, and just, you know, a few hours later we were doing that. Like, you were the first guy, and those women say the only guy. Some of them. There's been a couple. Those conversations I'll believe. Just out of nowhere, like, I'm not trying to smash. We're just two friends talking. Like, yeah, that was the first time I ever did something like that. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? That's cool. But in the moment when they're like, this is the first time, I don't believe it. Matter of fact, I got a story for y'all.
Everybody sit down, please. It's story time. It's story time.
I got a story for you. I went to go visit a friend. You know what I mean? One of my old school boys, you know what I mean? One of my dudes from my military years, right? Went to visit them, and we were out, and he had a couple friends that were Filipino. I guess you're supposed to say Filipino. Women of Philippines descent, right? And we went out, you know what I mean? I just got into town. He was messing with the one, like it was one of his girls. He was, you know, in his rotation, and her friend. And he was telling me before I got there, he was like, yeah, man, we're going to go out with, you know, we got a couple women going to come out and meet us. He's like, yeah, I almost had a three-way with him once. You know what I mean? I was messing with a girl, and her friend came in and pretty much watched us, bro. He was like, whatever. I thought she was going to join in, but she didn't. And I was like, all right, yeah, cool. That's what's up. So they show up, we hang out. You know what I mean? We do whatever. We're out and about doing our thing. We get back to the crib, you know, a night of going to bars, listening to music, all that kind of stuff, man. And I'm doing my job. I'm keeping the old girl, you know, occupied or whatever. My cousin's doing whatever he's doing. I said cousin. Like my homeboy's doing whatever he's doing. It wasn't my cousin, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm just dudes in our unit. We was always, when we went out, we would say we were cousins or brothers. Like we would always say that. It was just what we did. Because they were asked about our friendship, and it was just easier to say that we were related. So that's where that comes from. So we're out doing our things. We get back to the crib. You know what I mean? So they go do what they're doing. So I'm in the living room with this woman. And mind you, the whole night I haven't really been talking. She's been talking. I've been listening to her, telling her like bits and pieces of me, like, you know, what I've been doing, what I'm up to, where I live, this and that. And, you know, she just keeping her interested, but just letting her talk. I just been listening. Again, keep your mouth shut. Don't put your foot in your mouth, man. Just sit back. And my mission was to keep her occupied anyway. That's my mission. I'm just going to keep her occupied so my people could get on, right? That's it. That was my mission. And I was successful in my mission. My people got on. So here we are sitting in the living room. And I'm like, why not? You know, it's 3 a.m. She's still here. We had a long night of drinking or whatever, and they had been smoking. So like she's, you know, she's making contact. She's touching me and, you know, like putting her hand on my hand and that kind of stuff. So I'm like, all right, I'll make a move or whatever. Long story boring. We're about to do the act. And right before we join, let's say, she looks at me and she says, you're a special one. I never do this. And I was like, yes. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'm special. Right. I'm not going to mess up now. Boy, we right here about to do the deed. Whatever you say. Like whatever you say, shorty. And we do what we do. We had a great time. It was amazing. Never saw her again. You know what I mean? But that little bit where she was saying, you're special. I never do this. Come on. I knew that wasn't true when she said it. You know what I mean? My people was telling me stories of these two girls and what they were doing in this small town. And other people in the small town was telling me what these two girls was doing. Come on now. I knew that wasn't true. You know what I mean? But I wasn't going to call her any names, or I wasn't going to bust that bubble. I wasn't going to do any of that stuff, man. This is how the game is played. I'm going to be a gentleman about it. Like it was what it was. And it was a great experience too, man. Like we both enjoyed each other. Just put it that way. We truly enjoyed each other, bro. She couldn't wait for me to get back out there. I never made it back. That was the problem. I never saw her again. But she was about it, like, you know, to the point where she wanted to come see me when I was living in Cali. Like I just couldn't make the dates work. But am I to believe that was the first time she had smashed a dude after only knowing him a few hours? Nah, she's done that before.
Shit. And I think that's a really good thing to do, and I think it's good to speak out against them. And that's why I was just curious if Rollo's done that, because as I said, I haven't like looked at a lot of his content, and I don't know if he does. I get the feeling that he doesn't based on the way like Myron speaks about him. But if you got like videos of him being like, "Yo, what Myron said about this was incorrect," and
no, but he's not
like,
going to chastise Myron. Yeah, we have loyalty towards Myron. Myron is our boy, but Myron deals with things in a way we don't. Also, Myron deals with things in a way that a Muslim man he has a very fundamentalist Sudanese Muslim understanding of like male and female dynamics that most people in Western society would consider to be misogynistic. Just don't be Myron if you don't want to do that. But I'm not going to sit there and just be like, do I think that like Myron does stuff where he's like rude to women, is it uncomfortable to me all the fucking time, and we talk about it sometimes. You know who else it's uncomfortable to? Fresh. It's uncomfortable to him too. But that's the thing.
Yeah, so
Myron,
I think like if I'm friends with someone, I'm like loyal to someone, I wouldn't let that loyalty stop me from having those disagreements, right? And stop me from like
We do have the
speaking out about it. So yeah.
And that's the thing, bro. I guess he's saying he wants the disagreement to be aired out in public. You know, Myron and I don't agree with a lot of things. There are a lot of things politically. There's a lot of things in the game as far as, you know, womanizing and all that. I take a different tact on it. But I don't have to go on a video and say it. Like I don't. If I got a problem with something Myron does, I'll get on the phone with Myron. I'm gonna shoot him a text. Hey man, be careful, bro. Like I don't agree with this, but be careful with this because you know people are coming after you, and this is a good way. You know what I mean? You giving them the ammunition they need to fire at you, bro. We have those conversations all the time, right? My game aligns with Fresh, but even with Fresh, like we'll say some stuff or do things like, hey man, this is Fresh to tell me. No, I mean, it's just your relationship doesn't have to be public. You dig? In these type situations. I've told Myron a million times, I'm like, bro, that whole being loyal to a fault stuff. I'm like, hey man, be careful, bro. I tell him like a lot of people don't deserve your loyalty, man. A lot of these dudes, man, they shiesty. Be careful. And Myron and Fresh, but I said the same thing to Fresh. Hey man, be careful, man. These people see you on the come up, bro. Be careful. They're gonna come for you, man. And it's gonna be the people who are closest to you. Right now, this was like over 2 years ago we were having this conversation. So before the Lamborghinis, right? It's like, hey man, be careful, bro. You know what I mean? So he was like, I appreciate that. We had these conversations. Right. So this Marcus guy, like, well, he obviously doesn't like the way Myron talks or the way he treats women. Myron's game is the polar opposite of this dude's game. Like this dude's game, like I said, is more effeminate. He's mastered that metrosexual thing and women like it. And this is the dude who's gonna tell women exactly what they want to hear. Right. And then when he does do the masculine move, he's doing it in a playful manner. You better be attractive. Right, when you do something like that, or you catching a case. You run up to a woman that don't think you're attractive, and you grab her hair and tug on her hair, and you say, you call her some name or whatever. You're a dirty girl. Get over here, dirty girl. She is calling the police, bro. The fact that you can get away with stuff like that means that she's into you. Like that's the thing. Like, come on, man, cut this out. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I if I was Roller, I'd be encouraging him to do it publicly. And but as you said, like I think a lot of the audience is going to be compelled towards the content that is like fuck women, essentially, right? Maybe not in so many words, but like women deserve lefts, like blah blah. I think a lot of incels, they love that, right? So if you want to be successful in this space, like that's one way to do it, and I feel like that's what they're doing. So it's going to be hard to speak out about, which is probably why he hasn't.
But
yeah,
you understand, Myron owns 16 houses. Myron makes videos all the time about like the best credit card as far as points to fix your credit score. Myron consistently has federal agents on there to talk about how the federal government works. Myron talks about geopolitics stuff, and none of you guys watch those shows. Then he does after hours, and they make $100,000 a month from super chats. That's just
I'm saying it's a successful business, 100%. Successful business model is to say like, okay, guys, listen, women, the reason you don't have success with women, the reason you're not getting validated as a man is not your fault. It's all the women. They're the worst. And
you can tell this guy doesn't watch any of the content. He only watches clips. Myron holds dudes to the highest standard possible. They're constantly on those call-in shows. They're constantly dealing with haters, dealing with dudes who get the mixed message. Right, y'all, you know, the people who follow it. I reacted to a guy from Cincinnati who was talking about, I'm not getting any women. Myron, it's your fault. What? What? And then the guy was like, I'm doing everything, you know, you guys say to do on Fresh and Fit. And then they broke it down and only to discover he wasn't doing what Myron and Fresh told, you know, was preaching on Fresh and Fit. So, you know, you got stuff like that. This guy right here is never, I guarantee, I'll bet anything, man, $1 to a donut, man, $500 to a donut. He's never sat down and watched a complete episode of Fresh and Fit from start to finish. Guaranteed. Only clips. Only clips. For him to make this statement right here, well, you know, he's just telling all the guys, it's not your fault, man. It's the women's fault. No, no, no. That's not what Myron says. That big old vein starts popping out when he's telling dudes, to quit being simps. He's telling dudes to do the work. He's telling dudes it's your fault. He's telling dudes like you're not a woman. You can't sit back and be fat living in your mama's basement and demand a dime. The world doesn't see you. You got to get out there. You got to do the work. You got to build. You want to get into the candy store, you're gonna have to work your way up to get into the candy store. He blames dudes all the time. Right? That's it. That's it. Myron ain't mad at women for the way that women move. He ain't mad at them at all. It's just like it is what it is. These women that come onto the platform and get Frank Castle or whatever, it ain't about them being women. It's about them being rude, obnoxious. It's about them being disrespectful. And he tells them to get out. Like, why don't you just leave? You can leave. What are you doing? And then they wild out. When's first time? It's like a child. First time you tell a child no, they go ballistic, man. And start spazzing out right there. And that's where the views come from. And and they don't go looking for that certain type of woman to be on their show. They go out here, they got people to go out there and source for that show in Miami. And I mean, as their platform grows and more people hear Fresh and Fit, it's very difficult to get women to be on that show. It is what it is. Why? Because of the clips and because of dudes like this Marcus guy making these type statements. He's never watched it, but he has a problem with it. What problem does he have with Fresh and Fit? It makes women uncomfortable. Well, it's the uncomfortable truth sometimes. It's going to make people uncomfortable. Mind you, this is a guy who's telling women like, oh, it's cool just to hook up. If you just want to give it to me, that's fine. You know what I mean? But it's okay. No shame on you. That's his game. And I'm with him. My thing is, you want to do something, let's do something. Period. Myron's game is like, why would you be back in my apartment if you don't want to do something? You don't want to do something down, get out. You can leave. You know what I mean? All right, thanks for coming, but goodbye. And he's calling the next woman while she's still sitting there. Why are you calling some girl? I'm still here. Because that's what I do, love. Why are you still here? Get out. People don't like his tact. They don't like the words that he used. But I'm looking at what he's doing, and I'm like, well, he's getting results, bro. He's getting results. Hate on Myron Gaines if you want to, but that dude is as far from an incel as you can possibly be, right? And the guy does not hate women. In fact, he loves them. He surrounds himself with beautiful, articulate women. And when people say anything other than that, I'm like, all right, y'all don't know Myron.
They're just looking for the next best guy. They're
But
just trying to get with some
He
ex-celebrity.
blames the men. Yeah, he holds men very accountable for being simps. He calls 99% of men simps. If you want to say his argument is negative, it is, but it's negative for both sides. I would not argue the way that Myron does. And I specifically have told people before.
I'm sure if we asked all the guys on this panel that has ever seen Fresh and Fit, if we think about the proportion of the message of, okay, men, it's your fault compared to women, it's your fault, I think we can all say by far, like the huge emphasis is always on women. Like he might say, guys, you need to get your shit.
That's disingenuous right there. Like, yeah, when they talk to women and women say, I want a 0.001% guy. Yeah, then Myron, dudes will say, well, it's your fault that you're single. There's plenty of men out here. Just the guy that you want is very rare. And what are you going to do to get him? And more importantly, what are you going to do to keep him? And how are you going to keep that guy monogamous to you? Like you want a guy that's extremely rare, but you want to be monogamous to you. He's not going to do that. And then women get mad. Oh, you're encouraging men to go out here and be promiscuous and bang a bunch of chicks. Like, I'm just telling you what they're doing. I'm not encouraging it. Men have been, top tier men have been doing this for as long as there have been humans. I'm just pointing it out to you. Like the guy that you got, your top tier guy, he's out there banging somebody right now. If you don't believe that, that's on you. And if you have a guy who's not out there banging a bunch of women, he's only dealing with you, then you are extremely lucky. Extremely lucky, because that is a rare man.
Shit together. But with women, it's more calculated than that. With women, it's there feels like a lot of resentment. Like it feels like he's the guy that got hurt and was like, I don't do one night stands anymore, but the male version, right?
I don't know about that. So, Myron is like swimming in fucking women, dude. He's got like a main and then like 4 that like make clean his apartment. I'm not saying he doesn't have women. I'm saying he has women in a very avoidant sense. Like I'd be very curious to see intimacy with Myron and his girls, because what it feels like is very avoidant, and what it feels like is trying to avoid ever being hurt. If I'm just looking from the outside, that's what it.
You see what I mean about this dude and being in tune with his feminine side? It feels like. I would like to see what it looks like It feels like he just doesn't want to get hurt. He's been hurt by someone before. We've all been hurt. You know what I mean? Myron's like, man, I've never been heartbroken. I'm like, okay, possibly. I know the guy. You know what I mean? It's like, possibly. But that one, I'm like, I don't know. Man, you know, every time we talk about it, I just be looking at him like, you sure about that, bro? You know what I mean? I'm like, you sure about that? We've all been hurt, but I've seen Myron interacting with his women. Women, yes, plural. Out and about in the real world. And it's very affectionate. They're right there. On either, they're flanking him on either side. Right there. Beautiful women. Like, yo, damn, all right. And taking care of business. And he's taking care of them. He's protecting them. Like, he's ready to defend his women. And everyone really was part of the group. He's ready to put his life on the line. No matter what. Like, I've seen it. Seen it in Dallas. I've seen it in Miami. I've seen it in Fort Lauderdale. I'm pretty sure it's going on right now in Romania. Like, I've seen it. But this dude right here, this Marcus guy, man, like, I'm hearing a lot of feminine energy right here, bro. And this is how women speak. You clip this and put it next to any woman talking about Myron and Fresh and Fit, and it sounds exactly the same. And it's coming from a man. I'm like, bro, this is his game. I ain't mad at him. I don't know if this is conscious or subconscious. You know what I mean? But this is his game. His game is, I'm the dude that's not afraid to embrace the female side. You know what I mean? The female side of the force. He probably has the Force's female t-shirt at the crib. He's that dude. And he's a handsome fella. And he has game on top of that. So he's crushing. He's crushing. You feel me? Like, it is what it is. Brother Vikings in the building. What's good, fam? Like, late night weekend stream, man. Yeah, I'm injured, man. My arm is messed up. My left arm is messed up. You know, normally I would be out networking, doing my thing, getting people for the podcast, getting people for the comedy show. But I have to rest my arm. I just, you know, it's getting better. I can move it now. A couple days ago, I couldn't move it at all. Like, this movement right here. Oh man, this is like major. I can extend. I couldn't do this at all. Like, so I'm home and I was like, you know what? Let me get on. Let me talk my ish. So good to see you, brother. But this guy right here, man, I ain't knocking no man's game. His game, he runs female game. I think, like, he's probably the Yoda of the female game, bro. That's what he's doing, the metrosexual stuff, man. He can Jedi mind trick these chicks right out their panties. I ain't mad at him. That's a great skill to have. He knows what he's doing. But it's a very, very feminine way of game, male version of game. Because he's showing, you know what I mean? I'm so masculine, I can, you know what I'm saying? I can fully embrace the female side. Okay, cool. I don't run that game. You know what I mean? But I've seen dudes who do run that game, and it works effectively, man. It works effectively. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And Brother Viking is like, oh, damn, sorry to hear that, brother. Get well soon. I'm almost there. Appreciate that, bro. I'm almost there, man. I was messed up bad, man. I think 3 more days, I think I'll be at maybe 75%, and that'll be real good. Right now, I think I'm about 35%. Yeah, about 35%, 30% right now, which is, man, I'm telling you, man, 3 days ago, bro, I was at 0%. I could not use this arm at all. I'm talking real pain. Y'all know I don't like medications. I don't like taking pills. Boy, I was popping I was taking extra strength Tylenols, man, like sweet tarts, bro. That's rare, bro. I had a lot of nerve damage. I could the shooting pains into my fingers, bro. My fingers were swelling. It was pretty bad. I don't know how I did it, but I'm pretty sure I did some sort of nerve damage. It could be something I did years ago, and it's just kind of, maybe I irritated it or something like that. But boy, oh boy, it was hurting. It was hurting, man. Yeah, it's gonna take me, like it'll be at least 2 weeks to get to like that real 100%. But over the next few days, bro, I'll be happy just to get on the plus side of 50%, 60%. I'll be happy to get there. But yeah, man, Jesus, it hurt. But yeah, getting back to dude, man, I ain't knocking him for his game, but that's his game, man. He's that metrosexual, that feminine energy. That's the game he runs. Good for him. Obviously, it works, right? And if you're gonna run that type game, and this is how you're gonna interact with your women, and of course you're gonna have to hate Fresh and Fit, in particular, Myron's way of doing business. You know what I mean? If your game is feminine and Myron's game is masculine, I mean, they couldn't be, like I said, those are polar opposite. They couldn't get any further apart. You know, so I get where he's coming from. Let's continue.
He's like, and it seems like somewhat resentful towards women.
Um,
Whereas someone like
maybe-
yourself seems like you love women. Like, I don't get
Yeah.
the message from you that it's like, oh, fuck, I'm trying to avoid any intimacy or relationship. And like, I'm so scared women are going to fuck me over. You seem to, even from a friendship point of view, love all women, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know about Roller, right? Like, from the things I've seen, I don't get
Roller
that
loves
message as
Roller
much.
loves women.
I don't get that pushback as much.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's because, as you said, there's like loyalty there, and obviously they're doing well off this audience. So like you got a captured audience there. But that's all I was curious about. But anyway, sorry, Ice. I know we've been.
Yeah, no, this is
Fucking
a
going
good
off on a
discussion,
tangent.
and like
Maybe-
nobody's been more critical of this than me, because I look at the people in Red Pill almost like cousins and fucking nephews, and I want the best for them, and I'm disappointed when they don't do well. So yeah, like I'm just the thing is, if you were to talk about the amount of time he has talking about each one of these subjects, it's about equal. But what happens is I have the same issue. I have editors that will take my clips. There's this one YouTube channel. It's called MOA.podcast. And all they do is take the most inflammatory shit that I say and put it up there. And it's killing us. Like, it's not killing us, but like their YouTube channel is growing faster than mine. I talk about aliens and inflation and all kinds of stuff. When I talk about this stuff that has to do with Red Pill, it's like 100x more popular. So in a part, you could say the algorithm rewards some of this type of behavior. Because I promise you, if it was a situation where this wasn't being rewarded, Myron wouldn't make content like this.
Just
and
look
then
at
the other
just
thing
No,
is-
but that's what I'm saying.
Her
Like,
channel has gone
that
fucking
feels a bit
crazy.
disingenuous. Oh, sorry, Ice. Go for it.
Yeah, but
I-
no. Here's the thing. I'm making content on 10 things that I think are true. Then the editors go and make clips on those 10 things that they think are true, but 7 and 8 do 100x more volume than the other 8. What happens is, you know me for 7 and 8, not 1 through 6 and then 8, 9, and 10. You
No,
just
but I
know
don't
me for
mind if
7
7 and 8 the messages within dating that are like what I would consider.
Yeah, but they
healthy and
they won't
true.
go viral.
But
But they won't go
if
viral.
it's- That's fine. That's fine. Like that's fine. If you're sitting back as a person, I'm not saying you, but if you're sitting back as a person and you're like, look, I've done content of 10 things, and I notice when I like hate on women a little bit, and the guys fucking love it, and now I've got like this podcast called Fresh and Fit. And yeah, maybe it started as like we're going to do like 10 subjects, but what I find is when I just hate on women, fuck, every incel in the world is jerking off after this, sending me super chats, like blah, blah. Then yeah, I'm going to keep doing that. That's fine, right? You can say that. But from my point of view, I'd rather just have the right message going out that help men. I don't think it's good telling men that, sending these like essentially like women hating resentful messages. And
The dude doesn't watch the content, and then to sit there and to ridicule the men who support the message, right? Like, you don't have to support the whole message, but he just called me an incel. I send in super chats, especially back in the day. We got incels, bro. The number of involuntarily celibate men who are following Myron and Fresh versus the number of involuntarily celibate men who are following, let's say, Pokimane, whatever her name is, right? Which number would be greater? And I'm here to tell you, right? There's the involuntarily celibate dudes are all over there simping on Twitch. They're all simping on these girls, bro. So to make Fresh and Fit the enemy doesn't make any sense, because if dudes would listen to Fresh and Fit, Twitch would just stop. It would cease to exist. Right? OF would just fall off. You know what I mean? And then even the adult film industry would see a huge dip in their numbers if people were to listen to Myron and Fresh. Myron and Fresh blames the simpletons of the world more than he blames the women who are out there, getting the money from the simps. Why wouldn't you take the bread? Like, why wouldn't you do it? So again, this guy doesn't watch the content, nor has he really thought about what's going on. And I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Like, there's this Marcus dude, it just seemed like he got amped up from whichever woman he was banging prior to going on to this show. Make sure you say something bad about Fresh and Fit. All right. You know what I mean? Girl power, yay. And I mean, because I don't, if you sat down and talked to this dude, like, hey, man, let's look at some of these clips. Show me a clip that you don't like. And then I'll go back and find the whole, 2 hours. You know what I mean? You get to see the 2 hours leading up to that moment. Let's watch the rest of this stuff, man. Look how disrespectful this woman has been. Look how unruly this woman has been. Look at what's going on. What would you do, bro? What do you do? You just let women run over you? No. Even with your feminine energy, you're gonna tell her to shut up. And if she doesn't, listen to you, you're gonna kick her out. At the end of the day, you're gonna do the exact same thing that Fresh and Fit does on their platform. It is what it is. Brother Viking is right, man. Myron doesn't hate women. He's just blunt. And both men and women love it. That's a fact, bro. He is blunt. He is blunt. And most women don't hear that because the dudes are trying to smash. It goes back to what we were just talking about earlier on this stream. How many dudes can say no to a fine woman? How many dudes can tell her to get out? How many? How many dudes would be like, you know what? I ain't dealing with you. I do it all the time, bro. Disengage all the time. If my shoulder wasn't jacked up, I'll be out right now. I'll be at Edition. Well, I'll probably be at Edition right now, wrapping up the night, then talk to a few people, whatever. I'm out of there heading home. I'll probably still be there. And it's every night. If I go out, there's always a handful of women that I'll see that I'll try to stay away from. Sometimes you approach a woman thinking she's one way and you start talking to her and realize like, oh man, I don't want to deal with this one. This is a bad one right here. I don't want to deal with her. And you walk away like, oh, it's nice talking to you. Bye, out of there. And I stay away from them. I remember once I was at the bar, man, some drunk girl was checking me out, trying to get at me. She had some dude that was trying to basically block, trying to keep her away from me. I was cheering for dude. I'm like, yeah, man, make sure you keep her away from me, bro. And the girl was like, get your arm off of me, talking to the dude. I'm like, damn, bro, you couldn't even keep her away from me, man. So now he's feeling stupid on both ends. She wasn't trying to deal with dude. He was trying to salt me out. I didn't want nothing to do with her. He just standing there stuck on stupid. I'm like, yeah, how stupid do you feel, bro? Not only does she not want you, but the dude she wants, right, is laughing at you for not being able to pull this chick that he don't want. I don't want nothing to do with this dumb broad. You know what I'm saying? Want me to help you out, bro? You want Uncle Saint to put you on? You want to talk to this dummy? I could put you on with this dummy. They don't like it when I talk like that. And I be trying not to talk like that too often because I'm getting older. You ain't supposed to be that blunt. But the girl was trash, man. Trash. She was drunk. I had to actually go get holler at some of my people in security. Like, man, keep her away from me, bro. I'm like, I got 1 eye on her and I'm trying to move around and stay away from her. If she had been a dude acting like that, man, they'd have rushed her up out that joint, man. Rushed her out. But that thing that got me. The dude was hating. Why are you hating? Ain't nobody thinking about this dumb chick right here, bro. You can have shorty, man. Please keep her away from me. Stupid ass man. But it's a lot of stupid ass men. That's a simpleton right there. That is a simpleton right there. That's how that works. You can't get on and you're gonna sit here and hate on the next man. Even though the next man don't want nothing to do with this dumb broad, bro. It is what it is. Brother Viking, even the women that say they hate it still watch it. So do they really hate it? That's a good point, man. Their female numbers are growing, which is crazy. Iron and Fresh got a lot of women watching them, man. It's crazy. Let's get back to old boy and his feminine energy.
Like for me personally, I'm like, even right now, I'm going to be someone that like had some pushback here. He's saying like, no, these stats aren't right. This idea that women are just looking for the next guy and are going to cheat on everyone and don't give up. It's not true. Like in everyday life, we all know we've probably all got amazing relationships with women where we're not worried she's going to like go fuck the next, bartender or some shit. I'm the last person I'm worried about is a bartender, just quietly. But yeah, I get it. Like if you want to make money off what I would consider a false message, whether you believe it's false or not, I'm always going to push back against that.
Yeah, I don't think it's false. I think the words he uses are extreme. And I think what he does is he exacerbates a certain part of the message that he talks about more than other parts, but also that part of the message goes viral. As far as him internally, I mean, I love hanging out with Myron. He's great. He takes us to dinner every fucking night we go out there. He's the most magnanimous person, but that's how he is off camera. On camera, you know, he's making content for his clients. And you're saying that's disingenuous. I can see how that's a conflict of interest. I do see other people trying to do the same thing. A lot of other people trying to do the same thing. And you could also talk about all the people's careers he's launched from being on that show. But like, when you understand the dude was a federal officer, owns 16 houses and all the other things he talks about, he literally does a show on serial killers. That's phenomenal. It's called Fed It. It's terrific. But people just don't watch it. People just don't watch it. I went on a show the other day and we talked about the Trump indictment. And it's just like,
Yeah, and it's called Fed Reacts. They changed the name of the show probably since this clip was released. It's a good shot. I mean, it is a good show. Shout out to Myron, man. Fed Reacts is good. Shout out to my brother. Politically, though, Myron and I do not line up. Hardly at all, like at all. Like, but we talk politics all the time. And I'll sit there and again, I'll say what I have to say. He says what he have to say, and it's all good. You know what I mean? I'll have a drink and he'll drink his water. I'll sip on my cognac. You know, and I mean, it is what it is. You know, he makes points that, you know, I'm like, all right, challenges my view. And I'll make points and it challenges his view. And he'll go back and research it. You know what I mean? That's another thing. So I'll tell him some stuff like, hey, man, you might want to look into that. You know, go check this out. And he'll go look it up. I don't tell him where to go. I'll just say, hey, here's something, you know, here's an article. Why don't you go check out this article? USA Today reported on this, or the New York Times or the AP or whatever. You know, it might even be Al Jazeera. I might find it on Al Jazeera. Hey, check this out. You know what I mean? And then you'll look at it like, damn, it is Al Jazeera. And he'll start looking for other stuff. You know, and that's how it should be. You don't want to be in an echo chamber. We talk about this all the time. You definitely want to have people around you just going to challenge your views. But yeah, man, like that's Myron. And they got some more stuff. They talk about this, you know, Code Approach versus Social Circle. Is 2 hours and 5 minutes. I'm looking at the whole thing right here. We're definitely going to revisit this again, but I think that the networking social game is far superior to Code Approach. I mean, it's just on so many different levels, it's better. And if you are a top tier Code Approach guy, eventually you will be networking alongside of it. I mean, you almost have to get to the VIP is going to require networking skills. So you use your Code Approach skills to get the beautiful woman to come into the spot with you. And that's going to propel you to the next level, which is going to put you into the VIP, or is going to put you on the stage where the VIP is located or wherever. Other guys are going to be checking you out like, oh man, you've been coming in this joint. I see you with, 10, 15 women. There's never the same women. You come in here with different women all the time. That's going to add value to you. It's going to add your clout. They're going to come holler at you. What's up? Still, you're still paying for bottles. And like the next level is getting the club to pay for your bottles. So now you get in there and you don't even have to use your own money in the VIP. They want you there. So they're going to comp you a bottle or two, depending on how many girls are with you, right? The stage after that is getting paid to bring women to parties. Dudes will pay you money, bro. Like, hey man, we'll pay you $200-$300 if you can bring X amount of women. We'll give you X amount of money per, if you can bring 30 women, we'll pay you this. If you can only bring, 20 women, we'll pay you that or whatever. And all that's negotiable. So there's a way to monetize it. That's what they're teaching you over there in MOA, if I'm not mistaken. That makes sense to me. Vegas is money driven. Everything in Vegas is about money. So if you're successful at whatever it is you're doing and you're successful in Vegas, that means that model, that business model will work any city in America for certain, probably any city in the free world. It is what it is. So if you can bring 100, 200, model type women, 9s and 10s to an event in Vegas, right? Or an event anywhere in America. If you can bring that many beautiful women to an event anywhere in America, not only is that worth X amount of dollars, but like your clout, your status goes through the roof. You're certainly VIP, and your networking game is going to prepare you to the highest levels, period. So again, like that. And again, you're the dude who brings all the beautiful women. Other women are going to want to come talk to you. They're going to want to come talk to you, bro. Like there is something about you. If you can be around all these women and all these women are competing for your attention and all these women Like they're touching you and hollering your name and running up to you. Other women are sitting back and watching. They're like, who is this dude? And if anything else, they're going to want to find out who you are just to satisfy that curiosity. So that definitely works. You know what I mean? It definitely works. That networking slant social game is far superior than, in my opinion, than cold approach. But you need both. You definitely need that cold approach, man. You got to have that cold approach. Brother Viking, we get soft guys like this. They join the Fresh and Fit Discord almost daily now. Bro, because they're not getting the results, man. It's cool to be in touch with your feminine side, I guess. But I mean, bro, I don't know. Dudes are going to always be looking for, the most effective way to meet women. And again, most dudes aren't trying to rotate. They're not trying to run rotations. That Marcus dude, man, he's just trying to smash chicks, bro. He's just out to smash. That's it. He wants to smash. So his game, he's a true PUA, man. He's a pickup artist. He just wants to hit it. He doesn't want the women to feel bad about it. He's trying to hit. He's trying to get them to engage in group sex. He wants to hit her best friend, her cousin, all at the same time. He's very good at what he does. I can sense that. Dude, I ain't gonna a shout out to dude. Don DeMarco to this guy, right? For real, for real. He is very good at what he does. He's very good at what he does. That's a dude to sit there and talk. Like, man, I talk to him, see him at a party and talk to him, pick his brain. I wouldn't pay to be in a course, but I just sit back and watch him do his thing. I just like, okay, that's cool. I see how he's doing that. And it boils down to that being in touch with his feminine side, bro. That metrosexual thing. That's what he has mastered. I guarantee. I ain't never seen dude work, but I guarantee you that's what he's doing. But the vast majority of guys, they don't really want to be out here smashing girls all the time. I mean, it's fun at first. They go from not getting any women at all to, man, they smashed a couple, a few more. Man, they got themselves a little rotation. Man, they got some dimes in there. You know what I mean? And by dimes, they get themselves an 8 or a 9 maybe. Man, they're happy. But what do they really want? They really want someone they can settle down with. That's a different game. That requires a different skill set, right? Short-term game versus long-term game is two different animals. Why are dudes failing right now? Well, in my opinion, they're trying to turn these short-term chicks, aka 304s, hoes, into long-term chicks, aka wife. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife, right? You can't do it. It's not going to work for you, my friend. And that's where these feminine dudes are falling short. You need to switch it up. You need to be able to see through this BS. And there's a lot of women out here who are just running this thing, bro. So you got to get out here. And it's kind of like what Myron says, what Fresh and Fit says. They look, man, you got to get out here. You got to be experienced. You have to get enough women under your belt so you understand how women move. If you're using this networking game and you're surrounded by 9s and 10s and you sitting around, you get to hear the stories. You get to hear them talking about what they're doing with their boyfriends and their side dudes and all and their fiance. When you sit down and listen to how dudes, they show you like, yeah, this guy just sent me $1,000. Right? You can sit down with your, like, man, Michael Surtain could probably sit down with 4 or 5 of his girls, his friends, just regular, whatever, women there for the event. And it's like, hey, who can get $500 right now? And the girls just grab their phones and get dudes to send them $500, $1,000 on the spot. You know what I mean? Like, just do it and then send the money back. You know what I mean? It's just to see how they can do it. It'll blow your mind the amount of money that women can generate from these dudes. These simpletons, they ain't learning, but they're starting to. They're starting to. I was on this. I'm in the Discord, but I just don't, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not. I'm gonna have to force myself to get better at the Discord thing because everyone has Discords, bro. I'm in there. It took me a while to figure it out. I figured it out, and then I got on and no one was talking. So I was like, and I was telling Mo, and Mo had to add me and make sure I didn't get. I think I got kicked out because I didn't click something. Mo had to walk me through it, but I got in there. But I've been so non-active, they probably kicked me out. by now, brother Viking. Yep, that's how Party Game worked. Even in the Midwest back in 09, that's how I got my long-term relationship. In fact, yeah, man, like Party Game, same thing, man. Social circle, Party Game. You know, in the Midwest, man, you could find yourself a good woman because the pace was slower. But now with Tinder and everything, man, not Tinder, with Instagram and dudes being willing to fly women from all over America to anywhere in America, man, it's real difficult now. Like, you just don't know what you're dealing with. If you're in, Sioux Falls or something like that, you talking to women who are always traveling and they ain't really working like that. Like, they ain't working. How is it that we live in Sioux Falls? How is it she's going to Miami and New York and Vegas, DC and, Fort Lauderdale? How is it? Dudes are paying for it, bro. They're paying to fly them out there. They're paying them to be there. And I don't get mad at women for doing it, but damn, like the amount of money these women can generate. And I'm not talking about OF. I'm just talking about just regular women. Dudes are like, won't you come see me? I'll fly you out. That's just the thing now, bro. They're just flying them all over the place, bro. I can't be mad. So if you're in Grayling, Michigan, or Traverse City, or Sioux Falls, or Walla Walla, Washington, some goddamn where, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Brother Viking, I was like, Dandy or a cuttlefish game 101. It will get you laid, but it won't really get the best out of the woman, even if you can keep them. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, we had for us, it was the metrosexual dudes. They had the dudes who were just in tune with their feminine side. A lot of those guys did well. Their game, it may have taken a little while longer, but once they got in, they got in. I saw this in high school a lot. Once they got in, they got in. Once when we became grown, it was guys who they just socialized with women, and they would just prey on the female friends and stuff like that, get comfortable with it to the point where, especially like the college ages, the girls are like, yeah, come on over and you can sleep in the bed with us and all that. And it's like, bro, there wasn't in my college years, there was not a woman in my orbit that would have me in the same bed with her. They knew what time it was. They was like, you gonna have DL over here? Like, what? You better not let him in here. He gonna smash us all. They knew what time it was. But there are guys out there that they ran that game. And it worked well for them. And the dudes who mastered that game, they still do good. Especially if you're in big cities and you're traveling around the world, man. I mean, that Mark dude, like I said, props to his game. The guy has game. He has an accent. He's from Australia. He's traveling the world. He's doing his thing. America, you know what I mean? He's hit, all of North America. He's hitting Europe, Asia. He's doing his thing. Shout out to him. Could the average guy pull off what he's pulling off? Nah, not unless you got those God-given abilities that he has. You got to be handsome. You got to be confident. It helps if you're tall. Got to have the money to do all that kind of stuff. But I tell you what, you pluck me out of Tampa right now today and you drop me off in, I don't know, Paris, you know what I mean? Drop me off in Geneva, drop me off in Tokyo. I'm going to come up. I'm a black guy from America, bro. And I got stories. I'm going to come up. They going to want to do something, bro. It's just because I got that window. As soon as I hit down, boom, I'm the new guy. I'm the new toy. I'm the new shiny thing. It's on, bro. It's on. So sweet. Appreciate that, bro. I'm gonna have to get in there, man. Appreciate that, Viking. I'm gonna have to get in there, bro. So I'm gonna leave it there. So y'all know where I stand on this. I'm sure we're gonna talk about this tomorrow. Yeah, it's a late night Saturday. Normally, y'all know I don't do anything on Saturdays because I'm out and about networking, but tended to my injury, man. So yeah. Thanks for rocking out with me. I appreciate y'all, man. This was fun. I'll be back Monday. Not quite sure what we're going to be talking about, but we're going to talk about something. I don't know yet, but we're going to talk about something. And Brother Penny's like, don't forget to find me on Discord too. Same username I have here, Bet. Mr. _Pitt_ Bet. Viking to find you. That's what's up. I need to get on there, man. I'm going to have to work my schedule to where maybe on Saturdays I can jump on Discord and kind of be in there and make things happen. I'm gonna have to make that happen, guys. I gotta get that. Gotta get Discord. Brother Cody is King has been on me for a long time about Discord. So that's the reason I got on there in the first place, is because of Brother Cody. Shout out to him. So definitely gonna do that. Normally, like I said, Friday, Saturdays, I'm out networking. You know what it is. School, my daughter will be out of school soon. Summer starts soon. So once that happens, I'll be out all the time networking, just making things happen. So, and I encourage y'all to do the same. Thanks for rocking out with me. This was fun. We're definitely going to keep talking about this red pill stuff, bro. Like, men really need help with this. The word is spreading. Maybe we'll talk about the TradCons Monday. Maybe we'll talk about the TradCons. The word is spreading. People are having a conversation, but the vast majority of people have no idea what red pill is. They've never heard of the manosphere. So there's a lot of room for growth. A lot of room for growth. So, hey, y'all have the rest. Have a good night. Good morning. It's 12:24 a.m. on the East Coast. So y'all have a good morning on the East Coast. Good night for the rest of the country. Enjoy your Saturday. I'm DL Saint. This is I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace. Look, I could do that now. I couldn't do this yesterday, y'all. I'm getting better. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.
The end.